All right. Should be live now on both YouTube and Twitch, so we could start going through this in a minute. But today I wanted to kind of talk about every weapon and do a tier list of sorts. Actually, do I want to put dark mode on here? I kind of want to put dark mode on here. Hacking. Hacker way to put dark mode on. So that way I'm not blinding every single person. But basically, just want to go through every single weapon combination because I've seen a lot of like Reddit posts lately from like new players who are like, "Oh, how good is like musket spear? How good are these like weapon combinations?" And it's like certain things like I don't want to like discourage people from being creative, but you also want to give like players that are trying stuff out like realistic expectations for how creative they want to be. And at the end of the day, a lot of weapons are really good offhands, and a lot of weapons are really good main hands. So, new deadlock patch stream. I forgot there was a deadlock patch. Sup, Micro? You still in downfall? Uh, I mean, at this point, I think I'm in like acceptance stage. Yeah, I haven't played deadlock for the new patch. What are the new patch notes? I mean, I might do it at like the very end, but uh. I don't think I'm gonna get to it like near the beginning today. Change log. There we go. Added ranked mode. We're experimenting with a different approach. Oh wow. Uh, okay. Oh, this is why everyone was complaining about not being able to do groups because of the new ranked mode. Okay. That's cool. Uh, anything else that's really interesting in here? There's just a lot of bug fixes. Like they do a lot of adjustments. Wow, they did a lot. Holy crap. Those TPs will be really, really helpful. Some of those TPs didn't exist before. They do a good job about updating this game like super, super often. So many balance changes too. It's crazy that they put out this much content every single week. Like this, the amount of content they put out per week literally takes New World like 3 to 6 months. It's actually crazy, like what they do with Deadlock in terms of the amount of balancing and stuff. Like it makes me like really, really jealous. Yeah, geez, they just actually changed everything. Any noteworthy buffs or nerfs to heroes I play? Oh wow, they nerfed McGinnis a lot, didn't they? Oh no, they changed it to bullet resist instead of spirit. Oh dang, the spirit resist is actually like one of the most OP parts about McGinnis. They nerfed turrets a lot, but it looks like you can like they're a little bit more powerful off the start, but they nerfed their output a bit. Yeah, no, they did a lot. That's crazy. Mikro, did he say that region transfer cancel? What? Did or did you? No, I did not say that. It's good, man. Not much cash, Mr. Mikro. Do you need a YouTube mod to or spammers etc. to avoid here? Crush maybe, but I haven't figured that out yet. The other thing I'm trying to figure out for today is like when we go through this, usually what I do is I do like what I did historically when we only were on Twitch is I would put a poll on Twitch and I figured out how to do a poll on YouTube, but the polls on YouTube I can only have 4 options. The polls on Twitch I could have 5 options. Uh, and it's like already kind of hard to keep up with the polls. Like I feel like it's almost easier to just like have people put in chat like what they would rank stuff, and then like I'd take like a common average that's just like moving or something like that. Like that honestly might be easier for the chat rating. And in my rating, I could explain like some of the stuff for all of these too. Male Oreo's main account is stuck in NAVs potentially permanently. That's not say I meant C. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I did not see that thing. That's kind of funny. Valve milking their 10 senior devs to the bones. Oh yeah, no, they are. Valve is crazy. I mean, yeah, it's just like the amount of content that they put out is wild. But meanwhile, CS2, yeah, I mean, CS is kind of weird though. Like games like Overwatch and like Deadlock, you can be really creative with a lot of like the balancing and whatnot. CS is a little bit more cut and dry. Like I feel like CS is like a game that you get it to a point and you just kind of leave it alone. Speaker stream, finally some good food. Crush, how do I give you mod on YouTube? Do I have to like click you and make you mod? Oh, add as moderator. Yeah, okay. I made you block. I'll give you the standard moderator. There's a managing one and I feel like that's giving you too much power. Okay. Crush, now you're mod in both. Crush, I don't know how we want to do the poll thing. I guess if you have any ideas, I'll leave that up to you, but the idea here is we usually list, like we talk about a weapon combination. I talk about it while people are speaking their piece. Like we talk about the weapon combination for usually a minute to a minute and a half. Chat gives a rating, whether it's from a poll or if it's from like a moving average from just looking at chat. And then I give a rating and like talk about my reasoning. So I usually like give a little bit of background about the weapon combination for the patch and kind of go through it from there. There are a lot of combinations and a lot of these won't make any sense. And the reason why I want to leave some of these in here, even though they don't make sense, is because new players will ask a lot of questions. OD Int, thank you for the prime. I appreciate it. Also, why am I blue? I don't know why you're blue. Everyone has a different color today. You guys are showing up on the left here, right? I didn't break the chat. Poll. I'm trying to help. Yeah, I have a way to do a poll on the YouTube side, but it's not great. Like I could do a sample one for you guys just to see like what it would be like. It's like it's not wonderful. So YouTube, I could show this to the Twitch guys too. YouTube, I have 4 options. So it's like, it's not great when I try to do one of these polls. Twitch though, on the other hand, I have 5 options when I do a poll. So it's like usually easier to do this on Twitch than it is on YouTube. So if I did it on Twitch, for example, then it shows up at the top corner over here, and then there's like the poll or whatever. So it's a little bit easier for me. And then I can have a category for F2, which I kind of want, because... Oh, shit. I broke everything. My split screen just decided to poop. Come to Twitch, you nerds. You need better emotes. I mean, I like the YouTube stuff for the VOD, too. Like, the YouTube VODs do very, very well. Twitch VODs do a lot less well. And I prefer watching stuff back on the YouTube too. Like I don't blame people. And the nice part about YouTube too is you can like link to timestamps and whatnot. So like I saw like a Reddit post earlier the other day where people were talking about the gear score bug, and then someone linked to a timestamp from my YouTube VOD, and that was like really, really cool. And I didn't realize you can do that, but that's something that's really awesome. You watched the New World video that they just dropped? No, I guess we could start off with that today. They had a couple trailers recently. I don't think we watched any of them here. We could start off with that and kind of transition into other things while people get in here. I heard it was really good, and that they should be putting it on a bunch of sites.
All you seek will soon be yours, Captain. It is indeed the Island of Legend.
I've said this before, the marketing team carries New World, and I'm not surprised that this is insane.
The price of the voyage will be paid in blood.
So, here I am, off the demon hordes, and I'm thinking, maybe give a girl a hand.
Yeah, this is a good trailer. You can already tell they did a good job.
Heroes. Think you're up to the challenge? You have stolen what is mine by right. And now...
Hi, yes, Isabella. More Isabella content.
You lied to me, priest!
I warned you the journey would be difficult.
You said nothing about sailing through the very gates of hell!
Hell is all but inevitable. The island calls to those who forge their own destiny. Do not fear the storm, Captain. Faith will see us through.
Nice.
You will be mine soon enough.
This is really well done. Like the blend of like the in-game to the cinematic is like really clean. Like I'm not gonna lie, that was a really good trailer. Nice. They had like another trailer recently that was also pretty good. Like they did a good job with the marketing. I wish the devs were good enough to deserve this level of marketing. I mean, they do an okay job. Like, it's not Deadlock, like, you know? Like, this isn't our patch notes every single, like, week, or I guess Deadlock's every other week. Like, oh my god. They actually add more patch notes in Deadlock, like, per week than they do in New World per year. It's a little silly. When New World goes crazy with the patch notes, it's like, uh-oh. How many bug fixes do we have? Corp and Isabella are New World, in my opinion. They hammer home the colonial fantasy feel so well. I mean, yeah, they're like the two most important characters / the two characters people remember the most. Like, Jonas is also pretty good, but there's not a large list. The depressive laugh. I don't know. I'm at that point now. All right. I think we get started with this. It is like a little bit early / aren't a ton of people in yet to go through this, but there's also a lot of content at the end of this because we can look at the general trends between like chat's tier list and my tier list, and that's always kind of fun to look at. So I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna highlight one of the weapons. If you're on the YouTube side and you wanna have an opinion, I don't think I'm gonna put the poll on both things because YouTube only lets me have 4 options and Twitch lets me have 5, and I'd rather have 5. Just put a letter in the chat, and then we can like kind of add you to the poll afterward, and then go from there. If it gets like really crowded in the chat, I might have to change that method, but yeah, we can kind of figure that out. Mikro, I can't make polls on YouTube, by the way. I need more perms, unfortunately. I mean, I can give you more perms, but I don't think it's gonna really... Like, I don't think we can even really go through YouTube, because the problem with the YouTube is that you have 4 options, and I want to have S, A, B, C, and F. Where S is amazing everywhere, so you have a weapon combination that's really good in PvE, a small-scale PvP, large-scale PvP, which is like a very small list of weapons that are good in all those modes. A is like good in 2 to 3 modes, so you think like small scale PvP, like the island, 3v3, like each one of those would be a different mode. OPR would be a different mode, war would be a different mode, and like kind of go from there. So this is like sort of like a flexibility tier list, not necessarily what's best in one like niche mode. Like we do war tier lists sometimes, like war is like ultimately like really niche content, like most people won't be able to interact with it. So this is like more so like if you're like just trying to figure out what weapon to go for on fresh or something like that, or just general combinations that are working well right now and ones that will work well in the next patch too. Doesn't like the D. Yeah, I mean, you can't do that either. You can't have 6 things on the pole. An F is, I think, more appropriate. So I'm gonna create a poll here for this first one and kind of start this off. We'll see how this goes. Let me try to make this thing a little bit bigger. And I'm gonna put I think I'm gonna bring chat over here. Can someone type? Okay, so there's 2 chats now. Golden, thank you for the sub, by the way. I appreciate it. So I'm gonna try to put chat on like the right side here, like the YouTube chat. I can't put over here, unfortunately. And then I'm gonna have a poll. We can see the poll results, and I need to hide the actual chat because then I'm duplicating that. Golden's actually closing on a year, which is crazy. So starting off here, got blunderbuss bow. Crush, let me know if you can do this too. If you could do this, that'd be better. But if you can't, then I can do it. It's not really a big deal. So much yellow. Just change the color. I can't. What do you mean I can't change the color? I can, Micro? Okay. So I'll let Crush create the polls then. So what do you guys think about blunderbuss bow? I think if you were going to try to force this combination, it doesn't make a ton of sense. Blunderbuss and bow have 2 different scalars for attributes. Like blunderbuss is off strength int, bow is off just pure dex, so it doesn't make a lot of sense on paper. But like maybe you could try to force the bow or the blunderbuss for utility. I don't see. Oh wait, my chat went away. I have to keep this up at all times. That's tricky. Is there a way for me to keep that up at all times? I don't think so. So you guys think F? I think it's going to be an F1 too. And then I have this automatically highlight the color. I don't know if I like that color in dark mode, but I don't really want to go through and change it right now. Has it actually been about a year? Yeah, it actually has. It's 10 months, dude. It's crazy. So blunderbuss bow just doesn't really make sense because the attributes fight each other. Blunderbuss fire staff, on the other hand, is a little bit more popular. So Crush, try to make a poll. Let's see if you can make a poll. The only remotely viable thing I could think is the bolt casters and split gem on BB, but just overall troll. Yeah, like there's not really a way to make it work. Okay, yeah, so you did do it. You did BB fire staff. Okay, awesome. Oh yeah, I could send you this sheet too, Crush, and like give you permissions. Can copy the link and send it to Crush. So that might be easier because then you can just copy paste from that. But what BB Firestaff, I think at one point this was the best weapon combination in the game. Blunderbuss since then's received a few nerfs, but the main thing that BB Firestaff does well is BB scales with int. Firestaff obviously has a lot of int. Pestilence applies passive disease while you're on the Firestaff, so they inherently have decent utility. The main thing BB Firestaff struggles with is if someone's on top of you, it doesn't have great mobility to escape, but it's like it's a greedier version of Firestaff that also is somewhat defensible, so it's like in PvP it's a pretty good weapon combination. PvE it's honestly not that bad either. It's just disease isn't as good in PvE, so if you're gonna like run something like this in PvE, I think Void Gauntlet with Firestaff is probably a little bit better. 2 minutes long enough? Yeah, I just do 1 minute. Like 1 minute's fine. I want to go like quicker through this, and if there's time at the end, then we can talk about other stuff. Because like end of the day, there are 105 different weapon combinations that I calculated, not including duplicates. So it's gonna take a bit. So looks like we have A is the most common thing that's getting voted here. Let me look at the YouTube chat, see if there's anything there too. No, there's nothing. No poll or no one typing in votes for the YouTube side. So most people think this is like a good thing to run in a few modes, but it's not best in slot in every single mode anymore. I tend to agree. I think it's really, really good in small scale to medium scale, but not good in large scale. But because most of the modes now are small scale oriented, I think this is like a very solid thing to go for if you're going to main a weapon like off the bat. The main thing with this is you have to get Pest for this to work out really well. And Pestilence isn't like super easy to acquire. It's from the PvP track. So this is like a weapon combination that's best if you like. I wouldn't say this is a good combination to go for unless you like accidentally get Pestilence by doing PvP stuff, like if you're on fresh and then you transition into this. This is like a end game level combination just because of how hard it is to acquire some of this gear. Next pulls up. I trolled it too early. I'm sorry. No, it's fine. So next up we have BB Flail. BB Flail is like a similar idea where usually you use a utility-based blunderbuss. You're mostly on the flail. Then your flail applies a passive disease on top of like all the weakens. It's something that I played for a decent amount of time in like large scale combat. In small scale, it's mostly decent because it has net shot and into trip, and it's just like a really, really annoying combination because you have like 2 to 3 ways to either slow people or have knockdowns. Like it's frustrating to fight against, but it's something that like ultimately I don't think it stood the test of time, but it was decent at one point. Are we including PvE too? Yeah, we're including PvE. So you guys got C on this. I think I forgot it's gonna autofill to that because it's this thing on top. I think it's also like it's like a niche thing. Like this is like a techie thing. Like that's what we have for C, right? Like you could use it, but it's like not particularly viable for anything right now. Yeah. I'm trying to do 1 minute, but we did it a little bit early. I mean, if you do 2 minutes, then we could just call it when people naturally stop voting too. Like both of them kind of work. He gets distracted, so he's gonna miss them. Yeah, I mean, we could try 2 minutes maybe, and then I'll just cut it off when we're kind of done talking about everything. But I think the one thing that BB Flail kind of has going for it now is the new flail could work pretty well with BB main hand, if that makes sense, because then you could apply a passive disease, or not really disease from your BB. I guess you aren't going to usually go disease on BB anymore, but you could do a passive weaken, and that might be interesting. But that's the only thing I could think of that would be kind of usable here. Sorry, this one early with 2 minutes, so we're fine. Yeah. So next up we got blunderbuss great axe. This is something that has been somewhat popular in OPR. It's basically a chase build where you use blunderbuss to apply the net shot to somebody so they can't really run away. Use the great axe to kind of get close and then do a decent amount of damage with the great axe. Sometimes you can combo into the blunderbuss. I wouldn't say it's something that like is super popular, but I think even Crush has played this a decent amount. Like it's a usable weapon combination, a good amount of mobility, decent amount of damage. Like it's not bad. I've never seen this build do well. Interesting. Yeah, this is like there's a few people that play this build in OPR and they're like really, really good at it, but I wouldn't say it's like a super, super popular build. And like if you think about it from like a multiple mode standpoint, like PvE, I don't think this really stands up in PvE. 3v3, it's not bad. And like on the PvP island, I think it's going to be a solid build to go for. If you think about OPR, I think it's a decent build to go for. So like for me, I'm like honestly debating like putting it in A. It's definitely at least B for me, but I think I'm going to put it in A. You guys, I think overall are putting it in B here though. So, and the reason why I'm putting it in A is I think this is viable in OPR, I think it's viable on the PvP island, and I think it's viable in 3v3. So for me, that's good in at least 2 to 3 modes. I'd say B plus objectively before I say A plus. Yeah, like, I mean, yeah, you could argue that it's between B and A. Like, I think both of those are fine. Just for me, it's like I'm more comfortable saying it's good in 2 modes. PvP island, what's that? Moon, stop trolling me. I do like how the devs were saying that they're putting in stuff to prevent larger groups on the PvP island. Like they think that there's going to be like a 20-man that's teaming up, but it's in reality it's going to be 5 to 10 mans teaming up, and I don't think there's going to be a mechanism to stop that. So that's kind of funny. Can we define viable? Like viable would be C tier objectively from this list, but viable is like you could run it. But it's not necessarily best in slot, if that makes sense. Like it's playable, but it's not something that like you always want to go for. It's like more techie when I think of viable. Starting pulls early, just speed thing up. That's cool, Mikro. Yeah, that's cool. So next up, we got blunderbuss greatsword. This is a really greedy combination. Greatsword is not something you really want to have out for long periods of time because if you're an onslaught passively like at all, you will just get deleted. I think this is like one of the more common things that I've seen that people are like messing up about Greatsword nowadays. If you go to where is Greatsword? Where my greatsword go? It's up top because it's not alphabetical for some reason. But like, if you look at Grace, like the speed from this is great, but it's like when you enter an offensive stance, and I guarantee there's going to be a good amount of people that get Grace, just stay in offensive stance and just get like one tapped across the map by like a musket or something like that, and they won't really think about it. Like it's like something you really have to be careful of if you're in onslaught stance. I played greatsword BB in arena with like a 90% win rate in a shirking meta. Dang. I mean, I could definitely see it being good for arena. Like arena is usually better for greedier builds, and this is like definitely a greedier build, and it's something that as long as you're like in close range, like it can pan out. Honestly, in OPR, it's probably not the worst thing in the world either, because I don't think people are really going to be paying a ton of attention to what everyone's doing in OPR. So you guys have C. I am probably going to agree with you and put it in C, where it's like it's niche, but I'm borderline putting it in F. Like that's where I think blunderbuss greatsword sits at this point. Shirking meta, Keck. Yeah, it's been a while since we're in the shirking meta. They actually nerfed shirking when on the open beta, by the way, by like 15% or something like that. It was pretty significant. Coming back to Neurwood after a few years of a break, used to be in the top company of a guild, top DPS and OPRs, etc. I'm just wondering what the current weapon meta is right now in both PvP and both small scale and large scale. That's kind of the goal of today. I'm going through my opinions, chat's going through their opinions, and we're going to create a list, and then that list is going to end up on YouTube, basically. So that's the goal of today. I'd say, in general, Fire Staff and SNS for PvP is the most popular thing to go for. Like, any form of PvP, Fire Staff and Sword and Shield are both very good. PvE, you can kind of do whatever you want, especially because mutations are no longer the end game in PvE. PvE is going to be a little bit more open, since usually for raids you want the max amount of unique status effects that you can apply, so the max amount of unique rends, the max amount of your unique weekends. So like PvE is a lot more open. There's not like really a strict meta there. So we got blunderbuss hatchet here. This is more assassin oriented. This has not really been in the meta for a while. Like hatchet hasn't really been in meta for a while, but honestly BB hatchet's like not bad in OPR. Like it's something that some people have run in like the recent past, like past like 3 to 6 months. But it's not like something that you see everywhere, if that makes sense. Hatchet's just like really good for survivability, but it has a little bit more damage potential with BB, right? Because you can take advantage of the strength scaling of BB and hatchet. So you could sometimes get a little creative there and have like some setups from hatchet that work well with the BB. Like you'll hit a root, go for a BB combo, do something akin to that, and it's not that bad there. I'm gonna be voting for a lot of Fs, aren't I? Yeah. SNS plus Inferno. That will be interesting, especially if the strength scaling works correctly. YouTube people, I am still watching your chat too. If you guys want to participate in the polls or whatnot, then I can try to add you guys in. But this is pretty clearly a B from you guys, like good in at least one mode. I agree. I think this is good in particular because it's like a very speedy build. It's decent at closing distance. I think it honestly is debatably, like I wouldn't really force it into A because it's not like a super popular combination, but like, you know, OPR, it's not bad. I would not be surprised if it's not a bad option either in the PvP island, just because Hatchet gives you that root immunity, right? And then BB with the slows, like, could be half decent. That being said, like, BB closing distance on the island just sounds sketchy to me. BB Hatchet is just worse BB Great Axe, though. I think I would tend to agree with that. Dargetti doesn't, but it's gonna OPR maybe 3v3 PvP Island. Yeah, I mean BB Hatchet's like a little bit more like, I mean they both have BB mobility stuff, right? Just Hatchet's a little bit more survivable usually. BB Ice Gauntlet. At one point this was the king, and then it fell off. I think it hasn't really been meta for the past like year and a half. There's a chance it starts to come back because of the target lock mechanic, slash aimbot, whatever you want to call it. They did say that they were going to look into it and try to like balance target lock, which is right now it's just like pure aimbot. So I don't really know how you balance that without turning it into aim assist. And I don't think you can do that super quickly. So I'd expect BB to be relatively strong for the next couple of months. Quite a diverse poll. Yeah, this one has a lot of diversity. I don't want to put my vote in here yet, but it's not going to be super high. I can tell you that much. BB doesn't have enough burst for this to be good anymore. Yeah, that's where I kind of sit with BB. Like, BB used to be something that you could just hit your 2 shots, hit an Azoth shrapnel blast, and that would be enough to kill someone with BBIG. Nowadays, I don't think it's quite there in terms of the damage. Like, that would get someone to, like, 25% HP, but it wouldn't get someone all the way. And I don't think that's going to change between the patches. Bro, why the fuck did I get home so late? No, looks like I haven't missed that much. No, we're just getting started. I mean, we're going to be here for probably a couple hours talking about this stuff. Is this tier list for Eternum? Yeah, this is for Eternum. This is taking into account every single mode and just like how viable weapons are. So this is more of a diversity build list. No BB buffs makes me so mad. They actually nerfed BB, if you think about it, because of the ammo change. That ammo change, from the calculations I did, is roughly a 5.5% damage nerf to BB on top of all the other damage nerfs. So looks like you guys are kind of split between A, B, and C. I think you overall are like A minus range, or B plus, depending on how you look at it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna put this in C. I don't think this is like a particularly viable build because they've nerfed the damage on BB so much. Like, as much as I want it to be good, I just don't think it is. Like, I think, like, BB, for reference, BB's been nerfed damage-wise by about, like, 33% to 40% in the past, like, 2 years. Which makes it really hard to argue that BB is, like, good as a solo DPS class. Still the best lockdown combo, though? Yeah, it is. But, like, at that point, like, what do you do if you're just locking someone down and not doing stuff? Like, I'd rather have a VGIG or something like that, in my opinion. But we got new pull, a blunderbuss life staff. I've actually seen this a little bit in OPR. I don't think it's as good as like Lifestaff Scorpion though. Like Lifestaff Scorpion actually serves a purpose if you farm kegs and like can actually secure kills as a Lifestaff in OPR. This is like, I guess it helps enable people who are trying to confirm kills. So if you want to be a little bit more offensive in Lifestaff in OPR, you can use it. It's less troll than you think, but it's definitely not meta. Yeah. I can't keg enjoyer. You can get keg kills with the BB Scorp. Like, BB Scorp is like a relatively popular combination nowadays. So we got B, C, and F. I think this is gonna end up in F. I don't think I want to quite put it in C. I think I'm gonna put it in F. Like, if there was a D rating, I'd put it in D, but I can't do D on this poll because then I wouldn't have the S option. So I think I agree. Like, I don't think this is like something that you really can use. The only spot where I think it, like, you could argue that it might be okay is like OPR. But like, even then, like, I feel like it's just not as good as other things count. Do duels count as a mode? I think I'd rather count the PvP island than duels, but if you keep duels in like mind with the PvP island, like in terms of like it would be a similar meta. It's just if duels you start close, right? In PvP island you start like further away. So I think like PvP island will be a slightly different meta than duels, but like I think you could almost count duels as a mode. It's at least similar. I used to do duels a lot when IGVG with Ice Spike was a thing, but I haven't done them really in like a year and a half to 2 years. Blundy musket is not good, but fun because they added the reload. While unequipped, can shoot, swap, repeat. Yeah, it's something that like was used a bit at one point. Like it was the thing that people were running in OPR because blunderbuss is a bit more survivable than the Void Gauntlet, and a lot of people like to run Void Gauntlet offhand with musket when they're getting a little bit greedier. So it's like it's a intermediate step there. It's because the blunderbuss will apply another dot that will count for damage. Would be a decent build if BB wasn't trash damage-wise now. Yeah, because the in-scaling that you could take advantage of with the BB and the musket. Like, it's possible to use it. I think the only thing that like helps this build recently is the fact that grenades on musket got like a very, very large buff. So there is probably some sort of cheese combo that you could do between musket and blunderbuss with the plague splitting grenades, using the musket grenade and like traps or something silly like that. The problem is you don't really have a stagger effect to force the damage, so I think people can generally dodge it. But you could just like lob all that onto a point, and I wouldn't be surprised if it ended up with a few kills. Regret B, should have voted C. Could you not change it? Or, I mean, it's going to end up being C anyway. I'm probably gonna put this one in C2 because the only thing I could think of is someone tries to do a meme build with the grenade stuff since as we talked about like a few streams ago, that ammo change, before your grenades weren't scaling off of ammo factor, right? But now they just are getting a free 20% more uncapped in power, so it is a pretty significant buff to those grenade builds. Can I put this on 1.5 speed? If we go to the YouTube VOD after, but it's kind of hard to do it here. Blunderbuss Rapier's the next one up. Crush don't really have much more to add to this one. Blunderbuss Rapier's like a silly combination of, I don't know how much we really want to get into it. You could run around with it. It's okay using net, blast, and net, BB straight utility. BB Rapier goated, don't even. How do you use BB Rapier? Like, where is it viable? Like, in PvE? Like, I don't think I'd even run it in PvE. Duels? It's just a rat build? Okay. Beaker gonna try to adjust the length depending on a weapon combo? Yeah, that's fine. Who voted S? Oh no. The two S's? That people are just trolling. Used in all modes. Oh my god. Imagine baiting this. You guys are voting C. I actually don't know how I'd put it in C. Or sorry, the people are voting S. Like I have no idea how you even put it there. Like even for C, like I think that's kind of aggressive for this. I'd probably put it in F. Like I don't see the vision with this one quite that or right now. For now, you got to keep it up. S. This is crazy. Yeah, we haven't even had one S yet. That's the first S that you guys are going for. But we are starting off with like BB, which is like not a stronger weapon right now. C is not aggressive just because of the utility. You can annoy people so much. Yeah, that's true. Like you can annoy people with that, but I feel like there's other builds I'd rather annoy people with than this one. But if you wanted to just troll people and just like run around them over and over and just net shot them and they will never be able to touch you, you will be able to do that with that combination. Pulls up. Good luck if you have ads like me. I need to give like Crush the ability to not see ads. I don't know how to do that. Because he's mod now. I know I can gift him a sub. But that's the only thing I could think of. So, Blunderbuss Spear, this at one point was actually used a lot in high level PvP because you would just pull someone in and then you would just shoot them with the BB, and that evolved into, wait, we'll just have one other person running SNS Spear pull them in and have a Fire Staff BB just shoot them with the BB. And then that evolved into, wait, we don't need the Fire Staff BB anymore. So, like, this was actually part of the meta at one point. Golden. Oh man, got a Golden coming in clutch here, solving all the problems. Mikro, you can give me the ability to skip ads for the whole stream, but I know that won't help that much for this. Mod with ads is wild. I don't know the YouTube and Twitch stuff very well. I am still kind of newbie, and have not figured it out that much in a bit. So you guys are ending up with B with this. I think it is viable, like in OPR in particular. I think this is still a really good build. But outside of that, I would say like not as great. Is there a way to manually trigger ads? There is, but I think you have to have like a certain amount of people. Like you have to be partner or something like that, and then you get like an ad button, and then you can just manually control your ads for your whole stream. I don't have an ad button. we are not there. So you may have to be partner, not sure. I am partner. Like partner's easy to get. Partner's like, I don't know, like, well, relatively easy. Like you have 10 people watch you on average or something like that and a few subs. No, I think you're affiliate. Okay. Oh no, wait, yeah, it's the opposite. You're right. Yeah, I'm affiliate, and then there's partners above that, and partner you can do it. Yeah. I'm thinking of affiliate. I'm affiliate. Affiliate doesn't really have any permissions. I know some people have been like seeking that one out. I don't know if I care enough to grind for that. Crush, I didn't know you helped other people too. I thought you were just my loyal person. I'm sad now. I'm joking. So we got BB SNS. BB spears above musket BB. Wild. That's dumb as fuck. Yeah, musket BB is like, I mean, it's good for the slows, but it's not been as popular in the last like year. Like it was popular like 2 years ago, but like in the last year, it's not really been a thing. Yeah, he's cheating on you. Unlucky. I think Dusty's about to get it, and then Andy. Oh yeah, I think they actually. I mean, you have to have like a unique amount of subs too. What's gonna replace Bruiser? I don't really think Bruiser's going away. So we got BB SNS here. I probably should talk about this before it goes away. You have the ability to close distance with the SNS, do some damage with the BB. Definitely not an awful build, but it's not a super popular build nowadays. So I agree with the C. Subs aren't a factor, it's viewership. Oh, if it's just viewership, yeah, they definitely can get it. Like I probably could get it too if I like really tried with the New World stuff. Like we actually get relatively close. It's just I'm not consistent with the streaming at all. Like I think I stream like 2 times a week for like 2 to 3 hours at this point. When the actual game comes out, I'll probably start doing a little bit longer ones with Thresh, but I'm also like the kind of person that at this point I am too old to play games for more than like maybe 4 to 5 hours at a time. I think the only game I've broken that for recently is like Deadlock, and then Deadlock I had one day where I did like 8 hours straight, and it was like crazy. But for me, I don't normally go that hard. I'm a vote A if we count the artifact. Yeah, you can count the artifact for all these. For all these, you think about the best possible combination, right? In terms of your eyes, it's not like the average build. It's like the most possible thing. So like VG, if you thought it was best in light super glass cannon, then you think about it that way. If I think it's best as a heavy build, you think about it that way. It's just some people might think of different versions are best, but we can still vote about like the thing as a whole. 75 consistent viewers over a set amount of time. Yeah. I mean, we're at 62 right now. Like we're decently close on the Twitch side. The YouTube side's usually bigger than Twitch for me, but not today because of all the poll stuff. Hey, BBVG is like, I think this is actually a really good option for 3v3. But I don't know if I would say it's good for anything else. I'm playing different games. Yeah, I mean, it's like to me it's just tether. Like I would put it in B. But like the only thing I have like with this is like you tether someone with the VG that kind of solves BB's empower problem, because BB has an empower problem and you can do stuff with that. I think you guys ended up on B2, but it's close. I've tried this in heavy medium. It's not good, but it's funny. Yeah, it's like it's okay to me. Like it kind of. Like, I think it's actually, like, okay in 3v3, but I wouldn't say it's good in any other mode. And the only reason why I say it's good in 3v3 is because slowing someone and putting a constant rend on them and, like, the persistent dot from the tether and then BB chasing is, like, actually kind of annoying. This build was S tier for, like, 4 days on expansion. Yeah, it was. It was actually insane when the expansion dropped. Like, the one last year. Stream for 25 hours, stream on 12 different days, average of 75 viewers in that time frame. Huh. I'm actually like closer than that than I would think, and I'm a little bit surprised I'm close to that. But yeah, I'm somewhat close to that actually. In the span of a month. Yeah. Like I haven't looked at it in a bit, but I think I'm like been pretty consistently like 50 to 60. So like I'm somewhat close. We got BB Warhammer right now. BB Warhammer is a weapon combination. It's mostly used for cheese one-shot shenanigans. At one point, this was so brutally oppressive that like it was banned by the community, but not by AGS until AGS like super nerfed BB. Nowadays, I actually do see it a little bit, but I see usually a little bit more light Great Axe Warhammer, and it seems to do a little bit better than BB Warhammer. This build just wants to be BB Great Axe or IG BB, but it's just trash. Yeah, it was really cool at one point, and then like it kind of fell off. So I think it still belongs in C. I need to move my little thing down, so I'm gonna go down to the next part here. So we got Bow Fire Staff next. I don't even know if we really have to vote on that one, to be honest. I don't know how you would ever run this, but I know there's going to be some console player that like asked me about Bow Fire Staff though. They're going to be like, oh, I've always really wanted to be like a an arcane bow player, and bow fire staff just fits that like landscape like really well. It's like, okay, bis RP, but like I don't know where it fits besides that. Just put F not doing a pull. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we got bow. Do we? Can I just put F for bow flail? Am I fine with that one too? Like I think I'm fine with that one. Yeah. We'll just skip that. Can we do it for great axe too? Yeah, okay. A great sword we actually have to vote on. Bow great sword is a thing. It's not something I like, but it is a thing. We don't even talk about it. There's no reason to talk about those above 3 ones. Bow greatsword is something that people do run in OPR that are usually new players. And it's always really funny because they'll just be on the bow until you get really close, and then they'll just flop to the greatsword and they'll only use the greatsword. And I swear these guys are always in onslaught stance the whole time and die in 2 hits. It's like one of the funniest weapon combos in the game. I think it is a little bit better now because of Grace. Like you could use Grace to like move around a bit. Super underrated flex build, very good in OPR. Artifacts ruined it, but Grace can make it work. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Grace actually could make this like work decently well. In OPR in particular, I think it's something that it could be used. I'm not saying it's great, but like the spot where it fits in OPR, I think is like those PvP/PvE builds. Like if you think about it like from a base builder perspective, bow is like bis for getting around, right? And then greatsword's also really good for getting around and has good damage. I'm actually gonna put it in B for me. I didn't think about that, but for the niche spot of PvEing in OPR, I think it's actually pretty okay. And that is the only spot where I would ever rate it good. But that's the only spot where I think it's like actually fair to use that weapon combo. But everything else is like not great. Trix, you don't like my PvE OPR builds? I don't PvE in OPR much though. I voted A because I've had a lot of success with it, but it requires good aim and a good grasp of greatsword. Easy S next with bow hatchet. We'll see. I am saying to think about this as like, we'll look at the skill ceiling for this. I know we did a previous poll where we looked at like the skill floor. Let's talk about like the skill ceiling, like not like your average player, but like the high end potential for some of these. Like let's get a little clickbaity with it, because if I do the skill floor, everything for bow is just not going to be as high. But like, I think it is possible to do well on console with like bow hatchet and stuff like that. It would be interesting to see who can make it work exactly. Do pull. Yep, there's the bow hatchet. So bow hatchet is, I think, the most popular bow build to current date. At one point, bow rapier was more popular, and then at one point, bow rapier was more popular in NA, and then bow hatchet was more popular in EU. Most of the NA bows are now using bow hatchet. I think partially it's because it's a little bit easier to play, and the more mechanical bows kind of moved on that were getting good offensive value with the rapier, but it's still like a very, very solid combination. I don't know if I'd say it's like insane in PvE, but it's not bad in raid, so I can give it that much. E was so ahead of the tech. Yeah. I haven't played with this or versus it much, so I voted A. See, I feel like this is really, really good in certain spots, but I don't know if it's like insane everywhere. Like I think you guys are gonna end up with an S. I might end up with an A because I don't know if I'd say this is like insane in PvE. It's a very ratty build. I never played it that way. Yeah. I mean, it's not bad for the raid though, because a lot of people don't run like the hatchet stuff. If this is not S, no bow builds are S. Yeah, I mean, I'll give you S for that credit. Like it's the best bow build. But yeah, I'll treat it that way. It's like to me, it's like pretty close, just because of the PvE stuff. When we say all modes. We got bow IG next. Do we need to vote on bow IG or bow life staff? Yeah, I don't think we need a poll for these two. These are just not a thing currently. Bow musket is a thing. A tier. Bow musket is like the thing with this one is you don't really have a good escape, but it is a lot of damage, and you can kind of just spam abilities. Uh, I don't really have much more analysis to bow musket. It's like a I don't think it's really changed a lot. It's a bit of a greedier build, but it's like a greedier build when you don't want to go Void Gauntlet or like Void Gauntlet artifact. I think is generally a little bit better than this. People play bow musket in war still not for like a year and a half? Yeah, it's like it's not been a thing for a while. Decent escape with the mechanic. Yeah, I don't think I've. I think it's the first time I've ever heard someone say use the mechanic like in PvP. Like usually the mechanic's like not really as good as a normal musket. Yeah, mechanic has no damage. OPR/open world build. Yeah, it is good for open world. I'll give you that. Like I'll give it niche for that because it is a good open world build. But that's about the only spot. It's Boltcaster plus Creed plus Heart of Aloris. It slaps OPR. So Horo, do you want me to put it in B? I will defer to your opinion because I don't play musket enough. Do you think it's actually a B tier? Because I will put it in B for you if you think it's like really B tier. I got my highest kill count with it in OPR. Okay, I'll put it in B tier then. Because you are a musket player, you know the musket stuff better than me. I legit think it's A. I don't know if I can go up to A, but I can go up to B plus. I don't know if I've seen enough of, I haven't played enough OPR recently though to really have a strong opinion though. I haven't played OPR in like probably 2 to 3 months, but before that I have like 2,000 plus games of OPR. The only way it's B is if you have crazy aim. Yeah, I mean you can get there. It's just like it is a mechanical or it's spammy. Like you either build it one or two ways. Bow rapier is the other really popular bow build. Both of these are very strong. Bow rapier, I think, has fallen off a bit because people started using the rapier mostly defensively. And if you're thinking about the rapier just defensively, hatchet's just better nowadays. Rapier is a little bit less good defensively because it has, it doesn't have the ability to strip a stun or like a root. But it does have a little bit more immediate mobility. Hatchet's like a bit more of a wind-up, so like Rapier tends to be better for weapons that like want to switch back and forth, but when you're committing to one or two stances, Hatchet tends to be better. A? Yeah, I'm gonna put A too. Like, I don't think we need to harp on it too much. It's just like, it's a very solid build. I think this is the most consensus we've had so far. Yeah, it is in terms of chat. Well, you have one F vote, but it is the most consensus so far. We got bow spear coming up in a second here. Micro, could you put end polls? Oh yeah, I can end them early. Oh wait, that's reporting poll. Wait, how do I end the poll? Shit, I thought I could. Wait. Got it. It's /end poll. You might be able to do /end poll too, Crush. I'm not sure. So we got bow spear next. I can't. Okay, so I'll just do end poll then if we need to do end poll. Bow spear is like I've seen some stuff with like Scorpion Sting with this that's like kind of panned out pretty well. So can you create a new poll or does that not work? Okay, it does work. Okay, cool. So I can just do end. Yeah, bow spear is something that people have gotten moderate success with Scorpion Sting. In particular in OPR, it's like decently viable because then you could pull someone like off the wall and then kind of shred them with the bow. I could maybe if you gave me editor perms, but otherwise no. Okay. I mean, I could look at that after. I just don't like looking at that stuff like live on stream. Because I'm not that tech savvy when it comes to this stuff. Bow spear, I think, is like honestly not an awful combination PvE wise, but outside of that, PvP, it's just spear doesn't really have mobility. Like it's a greedy bow build, right? Like you can get utility out of it. Some people actually do pretty well with it. Good with the group, in my opinion. A lot of utility. Yeah, like I think I'm gonna put it in B because I think this is actually a really good raid build. Uh, because then you have like a unique rend effect with the spear, and you can kind of combine that with the bow. I think with most raids, though, people don't really force this. You guys are tied BC, have more AS, so I'm gonna give you a B. So I think we're consensus with B. It's a good all-around build for PvP and PvE. Yeah, I agree. Need to run with group. It's not. Yeah, it's not a great solo build. I mean, if you're leveling up, it's not an awful option, but yeah, it's mostly a solo build. I like B. All right, we'll stick it then. Do we need to look at bow sword? I think bow sword actually is used sometimes. Should be A. You have well, okay. Could I barter for A? I don't think I could barter for A because there's so many C people, right? Like that almost cancels out with the AS. Bow sword should be good, but there's no artifact synergy. It just kills it, Micro. Yeah, do you guys want to pull for bow sword, or are we comfortable with putting it like an F? Is there a rat tier? Uh, ratting is kind of part of this. Bow spear is on the same level as bow rapier. I don't think it quite belongs there, but it's a lower. Some people are saying C. Crush, I think this is like a small pull. It's like a 1 minute pull for SNS bow. Uh, yeah. Sword make it C, not now, or bow makes it C. Oh, because the sword is so good. You guys are gonna be split between C and F. I mean, there's like some setup stuff that you could do with the sword. I know some people actually use this and like they block with the sword, like when they're taking range fire and then switch to the bow. And I think it's like the most quirky thing I've ever seen. But like some people do use it. F means not usable. Yeah. I have to give it C for me. Because I think like you could argue that you could use it, but like it really should be D. Like this is a D tier weapon, but I don't have a D tier thing. Can you use life staff great axe? Yes, but it's very weird, and you mostly use great axe as a worse rapier because rapier has better mobility to escape. Uh, well, shit. Do I want to put it in F? I kind of want to put it in F. I feel like I can't quite put it in C. I don't think the tech quite works out. I'm a decent bow player. It's not a C, just my opinion. Just an F? Okay, then I'll use you as my tiebreaker. The resident expert bow player, crush master. Definitely not the expert bow player, but wow. Crush, okay. Crush has too much power. It doesn't deserve to see either though. Yeah, it deserves a D, but I don't really have a D tier. I used to love Void. What should I use with Void as a DPS? Void Gauntlet is a really, really good offhand for almost any DPS build, but it's particularly good with ranged DPS builds. So it's incredible with musket. Like one of the best artifacts in the game is using the bow with the musket. It's pretty good with fire staff. Like you can make it work with a decent amount of things. Bow Void is also, I think, viable as well, but it's less popular. Void and DPS don't go together. It does with the artifact Void Gauntlet. That's the only spot where they do go together. Everything else, yeah, it doesn't really go together. I think it's a C tier build, not great synergy, but it can work. I mean, this is going to be an A tier build. I'm probably going to put it in B. Because I think it's like a fine PvE build. I think it's okay in OPR, but I think musket's a little bit better than this. Oh, I'm talking about bow SNS being C. You just told me a different thing a minute ago. The only reason why I'm putting this in B is like I don't think I could use it for every single mode, but I think you could argue that it's like usable on like mid to large scale. I just think in small scale like it's a little bit too greedy for my liking. So you want me to put it as C? Is bow sword C now, Crush? Crush's mixed feelings. Don't listen to him. Bow SNS opinions. No pull for this one. Yeah, we do no pull here. Fire staff flail. We also do no. No, you do a pull. Because you technically could argue that you could use the fire staff artifact with the flail now. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking, Crush. I was like, wait, you actually can use this with Inferno now, but before Inferno wasn't good because it didn't really scale well with the strength. I think it's still somewhat bugged, but you could use it with Inferno. 1 minute pull, yeah. Would it ever be good with Inferno? Like, I think the reason why you'd use it with Inferno is if you want the utility from the fire stuff, like mostly the movement, and then you want the damage buff on the flail. It's going to be viable now. I think it actually is viable because of the damage buff it gives to flail, but I think it's weird. Yeah, Inferno passive works on both weapons, but flail does no damage. So yeah, that's what I think. Like, I don't think it quite works. I like how half these pulls are just the artifact, not the weapon. I mean, what I'm saying for these pulls is to use the best possible combination that you think exists. So if you think it's best with the artifact, vote in terms of the artifact. If you think it's better without the artifact, vote in terms without the artifact, not in general. So this is F for you guys. I think it is F because I don't think the fire stuff artifact really has great synergy with flail. But I'd be curious if someone tries to make this work. I don't think it quite works though. Fire staff great axe definitely works. I think you could go either way with this. You could use the artifact fire staff with the great axe. I think you could use the artifact's great axe with the fire staff. Like both of them are very, very good. And I think depending on like what mode you're looking at, one's better than the other. Like in PvE, I think great axe fire staff is a little bit better with the fire staff artifact. And then in PvP, I think the artifact great axe tends to be a little bit will tend to be a little bit better. A to S. Yeah, that's where it likely sits. I'm probably gonna put this in S. Like I think it is legitimately a good build everywhere. Yeah, like I think you can argue it's decent anywhere. You guys are sitting in A though. It's S for me, but I think it's A for the chat right now. And you got the one vote in B too, which would bring it down too. So even if there's a tie between A and S, it's still gonna end up in A. Yeah, you guys have A. I think this is an S tier thing because I think it's. Why is my S green? What? 1 second. Data validation stuff. Conditional formatting. Oh, oops. This is supposed to be equal to S, and then my S is supposed to be that color. Okay, there we go. Now it's fixed. I don't know, Meeker, I just mod your chat, fix your document. I fixed it, we're good now. That's the first pink one on the list. Fire staff, greatsword. I mean, technically all of these are pull worthy, but... And I guess this is more viable now than it used to be, because the fire staff artifact actually works. I almost feel this is too troll. Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to vote on it. But I feel like someone's gonna try it. Same with Hatchet. Yeah, I'll be playing for the first time on console. I've heard so much negativity around the game, so I'm skeptical. Wish they've released a roadmap for future. They said in a interview that they're only going to release a roadmap after they, quote, know what console players are playing, so it's going to be dictated around what you guys like to do, like what the data says. We've never really got a great definition of what the data means. But AGS uses the data as justification for a lot of stuff. Vote on Firestaff Hatchet. Okay. Fine. We can vote on Firestaff Hatchet, but it's gonna be a quick vote. Just put Firestaff IG and S and move on. I don't know if it's necessarily S. I don't think I'd put Firestaff IG and S. Like, I know why some people would put it in S, but I don't think I'd put it in S. Could we just have an honorable mention for Throwing Hatchet being F? Oh my god, dude. Why is... I mean, they've, like, kind of helped Throwing Hatchet. Like, Throwing Hatchet's, like, purely util now, though. Like, at one point, like, some people used it in PvE, but... Well, what's the argument for putting this in, like, A or C tier, by the way, Firestaff Hatchet? Like, are we just missing something that's, like, insanely good? Or is someone voting for this and it's just, like, weird justification? Because, like... the Firestaff does give Hatchet a damage boost now, and it's a decent engage. Firestaff Hatchet is going to be really good. Dargitty just wants to troll. I can see if it's really good. I already played it. I'm going to put it in C because I could see someone going for a burnout into a Hatchet play, but, like, is it just to run away on PvP Island? Like, I don't think it's bad for that, yeah. Like, I'll put it in C because I didn't think about, like, burning out into, like, Hatchet stuff or using burnout as an escape. It's actually, like, a decent escape option, and with the artifact actually, like, potentially working now, like, I could see it, like, nichely being used since the artifact Firestaff applies to the Hatchet as well. Like, I just don't think it's quite there. Sin with Firestaff? You can't run Sin with Firestaff. I mean, I guess you could do a pure utility and then not do damage with one of them or the other. Like, yeah, I guess you could do that. War build? For Firestaff IG or for Firestaff Hatchet? Firestaff Hatchet, I've never seen it in War. Is Firestaff Great Axe only S because of the Abyss? You could either run it with the Abyss or Inferno. You could do it either way. The argument for me is if you use the Abyss with a Firestaff, it's really, really good in a lot of forms of PvP. I think in PvE, if you go the other way around, it's a little bit better. Like, I think you can run that combination in any mode. Firestaff Hatchet, Group 9 build, I think. Have we gotten an SS weapon yet? No, we've only had one S in total. Must be EU. Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet for Firestaff Hatchet. I'd be curious if someone had a VOD of that. Oh wow, you guys are definitely going S. I see the SS below then. I'm going to be honest, I don't think I'm putting Firestaff IG in S. I think I'm putting Firestaff IG in A. Like, if I see a Firestaff IG in PvE or in the raid, like, I am going to be upset. If I see a Firestaff IG in any other mode, I will be perfectly happy. Yeah, no Firestaff IG in PvE. That's where I sit with it. Like, I'd rather... If I saw a Firestaff Rapier in PvE, I'd be perfectly fine with that. Just not in... anywhere else is not quite there. Not Firestaff IG, just Firestaff Rapier S. Yeah, I'm probably going to put that one in S. Fatally, I just say for trying, like, the game in terms of the negativity, like, a lot of the negativity exists because people are really happy to the game up to a certain point and then, like, get upset. So it's, like, in terms of, like, money spent, like, the game is good value. In terms of, like, not going insane, like, I wouldn't invest your heart and soul into it immediately until you like are aware of what you're getting into. Like, a lot of us have like spent a lot of time in a game and it's really, really, really good, and then at a certain point it kind of tapers off a bit. And like, if you think of the game as a seasonal game, it's a really, really solid game. If you think of New World as a game to play all the time, I would not say it's an amazing game. Pulls up. Oh yeah, for Firestaff Musket. Negativity is due to AGS dropping the ball. I mean, basically, yeah, like the game is fundamentally good, but they drop the ball consistently. It's like mostly a dev problem, and like it's been a dev problem for a while. I think there's been as much content and like Deadlock in the past like 2 months that's been dropped that I would consider to be equal to New World in the past 3 years. Like it's kind of slow dev wise. Can we straight up ignore Firestaff life stuff? Oh yeah, we ignored that. Yeah, that's fair. Firestaff Musket, still F, I agree. think I have seen a few of these, but like I still think it's an F. It's just like fire staff you can use for the mobility. It's just like, and I feel like for a noob player, it's like it's not an awful option to go fire staff musket, but like for any like mid to end game player, it's just like there's better options. Fire staff rapier almost doesn't need a pull for the other end of the spectrum. Made it longer for discussion. Okay. I mean, fire staff rapier in PvP is the meta option right now. It's not with Ice Gauntlet. Rapier gives you enough of a damage boost because you use the artifact rapier. You could also use the non-artifact rapier with the new fire staff, and you also get a damage boost if you use the low gear score rapier. So that would give you a damage buff and also decrease damage. Like, I don't know, there's just like a lot of good things going for fire staff rapier. PvE wise, the artifact rapier is insane. So you can totally run it there as well. Like, it doesn't really matter if you run it in fire staff or not. Fire staff rapier is used in both PvP and PvE. Yeah, I think this is the first SS. The game is great in terms of combat in a lot of context, but the devs are bad at listening to community, and the end game content is not their focus, which is sad for people that love the game. Yeah, that's why you get the negative sentiment is from the end game players for the most part. So yeah, that's our first SS. Doesn't surprise me a lot. It's like a really good combination. And I need to end the poll. I don't... Dude, this new fire staff artifact's frustrating because it's like I feel like you almost don't need to vote for fire staff spear, but like I know someone's gonna try to make it work with like flamethrower with the spear or something weird like that. To me, this is an identity crisis waiting to happen. Like, which weapon do you have out if you're within 10 meters of a player, the spear or a fire staff? Like, I would think the fire staff when you get really close, maybe switch to spear. Spear we go F, but pull for SNS, I think. Yeah, I'm okay with that. We need a rapier artifacts that focus on backstabs. I mean, we could do a pull for fire staff sword. I think one of the problems with the new patch is because the target lock / aimbot is so overtuned, you can't actually backstab people that target lock onto you because they'll just spin around instantly, so you can never get behind people to actually get the backstab. So rapier artifact that would just focus on backstabs, like that would only work in PvE. Ugh. New pull for heavy flamethrower enjoyers? Yeah, literally. That's a silly weapon combo. What we need is daggers. We've needed daggers. Like, daggers have been leaked to be in the file since the game has come out, and now they're leaking dual pistols instead of daggers. Which I think I kind of understand from a design perspective, because I think AGS is trying to avoid like one-shot mechanics, and like you can't have a dual dagger weapon without having one-shot mechanics. It literally just doesn't work. This will be good with Inferno. Yeah, that's where I think. I think I'm gonna put this, like, you guys are at a C. I think I'm gonna put this in B, like, aggressively because of Inferno. I think Fire Staff Sword actually works with Inferno pretty well. Dagger's the first weapon to get leaked, the last one to release. Yeah, pretty much. Fire Staff, Void Gauntlet, actually fairly viable. It's just greedy. We literally have the moveset on Angry Earth mobs, though. Yeah, AGS is slow, though. Like, they're really slow. Like, if you get one weapon in a year, that's a round of applause for AGS. Like, you get 2 weapons within a year, it's like, oh my god, something is happening. Like, it should never happen. Holy crap, all B? Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna sit there too with B. Like, yeah, I think you could run this. Like, I don't see anything like awful with it. I just don't see anything like really amazing about it either. Dash, Poison Cloud, Leap Attack, 3 Dagger Flow, 2 more abilities. I swear they broke the code, bro. Slowed and bad at balancing. New weapons are always broken as fuck. I mean, Flail wasn't broken. I think it's been the only weapon so far that's come out and not been broken, though. Do we need to vote on Firestaff Warhammer? Yeah, I don't think we do. Yeah, like that's too much of an identity crisis. It's a C in Ferguson Warhammer. Yeah, but like, eh. Like I feel like it just fights itself too much. Like they want to be used in the same range. Inferno with Warhammer must be C. Okay, you guys are too excited about that. I'll give you a C just because you guys are excited about that, but I don't think it's gonna be that insane. Flail bow best combo in the game. Oh yeah, it's amazing. Flail, God, flail great axe. Uh, this is like a funny combo because you can like if people don't have grit, I feel like this is like weirdly annoying and actually could be good. Uh, just because you could do like you could do like the whole light thing where you're rolling around. You have the stun or well, actually you can't really do light with the flail, can you? Yeah, it doesn't really work. I don't know. New flail artifact could make this somewhat interesting. Yeah. God, I don't know if I want to put it in B. Like I almost convinced myself to put it in B. And now I'm like, I think it's C, but like maybe. Trip then execute. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like you could make it work. It's a little silly for me. We take those. It's so cursed. Yeah, I mean, do we vote on Flail Greatsword? I don't want to vote on Flail Greatsword. That just it sounds stupid. Like it sounds really stupid. I disagree on Firestaff Warhammer. Have a second to discuss. Firestaff Warhammer, I mean, I think my immediate reaction to Firestaff Warhammer was it's F. The chat's reaction was, wait, you could stun someone and then you can go for Incinerate, which is like a meme ability, and you could use like Flamethrower and stuff. I literally gave it C because chat just was that passionate about it. Or there's like 3 or 4 people that were passionate about it, and I don't really see it completely, but a few people thought it would be in C. And I think it's something like you could use it, but I don't think it's like it's the problem that you'll run into with the Firestaff Warhammer is Warhammer wants to be used whenever you're within like 5 meters of someone, right? And Firestaff's a little bit further out, so that part works. It's just when you're like in the intermediate range, like you're gonna have a little bit of an identity crisis. Like I guess Firestaff Great Axe has a similar identity crisis, not right now too. Option to skip time to flail IG. Yeah, we could. I think we can do that. Unless anyone has a strong opinion about Flail Hatchet or Flail Greatsword. I mean, I think Flail Hatchet is okay, but it's not that good. Yeah, I don't think that quite works. Like Hatchet's mostly like a light build, and I don't think you could really run Flail in light because you want the kite shield. So I think that's probably fair to say. 1v1 me though, Firestaff Warhammer and Everfall right now. I think it's B for leveling and solo PvE. Yeah, I mean Firestaff Warhammer and PvE. Yeah. Crush, you might vote on Firestaff Warhammer and include the chat opinions on that, but just to humor people. Flail Hatchet with Sin's okay. B to C only works in group. This is just a ward build in my opinion. Yeah, this is not higher than B. You can't vote Flail IG higher than B. At least I don't think so. Like maybe can he use this in OPR? I mean, I've got some success out of it in OPR, but it was like when the bug existed where you could just go infinite with Ice Shower. B minus maybe. I mean, I'm leaning a little bit more towards plus and minus, but like plus than minus just because of the new flail artifact is like really, really good. With 350 focus, you have insane uptime micro. I mean, that's how I'm going to run it next patch. I'm actually going to run it with focus. I understand why people would vote this B. I'm definitely a high B, low A kind of guy with this one. But but I think I'm a little bit closer to the B than I am to the A. I don't think you, like, previously you just run this with, like, a combination of, like, minimal focus, and then a lot of people did strength, and then a little bit of con. Like, I think this is going to change a lot next patch. I think it's actually going to be, like, a 200 focus, or 200 con, 350 focus, like, good amount of strength, and just be, like, an all-around, like, half-decent weapon. Humoring chat, vote, yeah, for Firestaff Warhammer. So we're jumping back up to here because of YouTube people having opinions on it. Firestaff Warhammer, the argument is this is good in PvE. The argument would be like you know, you have Armor Breaker for the Rend. You could use Firestaff for decent damage. Like, this is actually like pretty okay for the raid. I would think, because you have access to the Rends and you'll still have good damage with the Firestaff, and the Firestaff works with the Warhammer with strength scaling now, right? I voted C, but I'm not proud of it. Yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna put it in C just because of the raid. I don't like I mean, I could see the argument to put it in B. Like, I think it's just it hurts me because it's something I haven't really seen yet, and I'm still worried that the Firestaff dots don't even like work with strength. But it's definitely a C from a chat poll. I think it's like a C to, like, I think we're cooking a bit if we put that one like pretty high. Flail Life Staff. I've seen this in OPR a good amount. I don't think I've really seen it outside of that. Flail in particular will be a little bit better with Life Staff next patch because of the artifact flail, so you can just apply passive weakens to people. If you actually hit people and like target people that you want to hit. Eker, what if you use full refreshing ward geared straight with Firestaff Warhammer? Abyss. It's the least popular combo in PvE. Yeah, I mean, you guys are B with it. Like, I think like I've seen this enough in OPR to put it in B. Which I feel like I'm almost hypocritical with the saying I've seen this enough in OPR to put it in B, and then like the Firestaff Warhammer I put it in C when I think it actually is like a decent option PvE wise. I feel like Firestaff Warhammer hurt, like, it just doesn't feel right. Like, I don't really have a great explanation for it other than it just doesn't feel right to me. Like, I feel like it actually could be useful in PvE, but it's not something I've ever seen, and I'm like, I feel weird to like just throw it into B because it doesn't really make a ton of sense right off the bat. It's mediocre in a lot of modes, so it gets a B for me. Yeah, like I think it's fine. It's not great. Like, you can run it. It's just there's usually better options for life stuff. By that I mean like just play rapier, bro. We don't need to vote on flail musket. Right? Yeah, there's no deck scaling for flail, so that doesn't make any sense. Do we need to vote on flail rapier? No paladin build? Yeah, no, AGS does not believe in paladins. Yeah, I don't think we need to vote for flail rapier. Flail spear we do have to vote for. Flail spear is a thing. Not a super popular thing. In fact, I think I'm the only person that's ever run this that I know of, but it is a thing. Alright. The spot where I found flail spear to be good is if you want to do pure disruption, flail is the best weapon for pure disruption to like a lifestaff player, and then spear is like the second best weapon. So it's like oddly annoying to people. I didn't get death threats after I used this, but I got a lot of question marks, and then I also got a lot of healers that were upset that I used this in the one where I used it. But I think like there is a spot where it kind of makes sense. The freak show build, it is like a freak show build. It's not something that like I would not recommend this build, but there's times to like where you can run that build. Nico, is this a general tier list or a war tier list? This is general. So we're talking about general viability. That's why I try to keep this thing on the right. So it's like if something is amazing in every mode, including PvE, it ends up in S. If something's good in a few modes, it ends up in A. If something's good in at least one mode, it ends up in B. So I hope that like right thing kind of makes sense, but it is a little bit more general. Odo spear, sweep, jab, trip. Yeah, I mean you can get a little creative with it. Flail, sword and shield is a thing. It's a very tanky thing. No flail blundy. We did BB flail already, I think. Yeah, we did BB flail. I got the unique combinations. I did a little coding for that, but I got the unique combinations, so we're good there. So flail, sword, and shield. This is like basically just pure disruptor. This is a bit better when you're going against larger groups, I'd say, than other options with the sword, but like it's definitely, or you could use it as a pure tank. Like both ways are viable. I think this is a little bit better as a pure tank. And it's likely something I'm going to be using on the OPR island at some point with Odo, just because blocking then gives you a passive heal. People still traumatized about the SNS flail assassins. Yeah, for me, I don't think it's A. I think it's mostly a war build. Is there a reason to run flail as a tank nowadays? Like at one point it was really good as a tank, but then they nerfed bludge and then it like fell off very, very hard. I think it's still B for me. Is this going on YouTube? Yeah, it's gonna go on YouTube. The VOD will go on YouTube. If I have time today, then I'll try to edit it down and put a shorter version of this, mostly talking about the end and in general overview on YouTube too. I don't know if I'll do like the full video or not. It just kind of depends on like if people think that would be helpful, or if people would rather just like look at the Twitch stream. The problem is not a lot, or the YouTube stream. The problem is some people don't see the YouTube stream. Like it doesn't get uploaded under the video section, so some people miss that. So I probably have to figure that out. Flail, void, gauntlet. I've run this a little bit. It's actually something that I want to run a lot next patch. But because I think it actually scales very, very well with the new flail. It's also like one of the most fun builds to play in the game, I'm not gonna lie. It's a very, very fun build to play. What new artifact for VG? Super slept on build. Yeah, the artifact is for flail. It applies a 20% weakened, and that weaken is unique to each person that you hit, and you can apply it once every 5 seconds. It basically has 100% uptime. I agree with the A. I think this is actually like a surprisingly good build. What do you think of dual pistols will scale with? Dexterity. Maybe ints. At that point, it's just BB though. Oh no, it's different. Yeah, no, it'd be Dex int. It'd be Dex int because BB strength int. I played flail VG and I think it's a C. I think this weapon is like, this got the biggest buff out of anything this patch. Like it got a really, really big buff. We got flail warhammer now. This is honestly just a little silly build. I don't think it's much more than that. I think it's just a silly build. This is I want to go sit in a clump and just annoy the heck out of people by disrupting them over and over and over again. Not PvE worthy. We'll probably be using a new raid, Honorable S. Yeah, it could be used in a raid. Like Flail Void Gauntlet 100% could be used in a raid. Flail Warhammer is a meta build in PvE, but I think that's it, kinda. So it's at least B then. I mean, sword and shield it got a taunt buff in PvE, but it's also like kind of weird. B+. You guys are definitely at the solid B point. I don't think you guys have enough votes in A or S to put it in B+, but it is, yeah, if it's meta in PvE, then it's at least B. Flail taunt's also weird. It is. It doesn't really work perfectly. Alright, we got Great Axe, Great Sword. Has this been used in PvP? I feel like it has, but it's not something I've seen in a while. I think there's like one or two people in dropouts that used to run this build, and that was it. PvE, this is definitely viable. So it passes that check. So for me, this is at least B, which I need to move this down again. PvP. Okay, I might put it in A. It would be low A if I put it in A. It's a clump puller build. Yeah, it's a really good PvE build, right? Yeah. You guys are solid in the A there. For me, it's like the PvP side. I don't think it is quite there, but it's decent. Like, I think I'm gonna put it in B with the new greatsword. I don't think it's better with the new greatsword. I think I'm gonna put it in B. To me, it feels like a little bit weird, but it's a mostly a PvE side of thing. Haven't seen much of it in PvP. Yeah. Greatsword too risky for the current PvP meta. Yeah, some people have made it work with like sword and shield, but that's like the main thing greatsword works with right now. Next up, we have the OG Great Axe build, Great Axe Hatchet. This is like when the game first came out for the first time, this is the build that a decent amount of people ran and was like weirdly good. Next patch, you have the grit change, which nerfs Great Axe, buffs Hatchet a little bit. PvE, this is amazing. This is one of the best builds in PvE in the game. Just because of clump ability, Hatchet's a decent DPS thing. If Gravity passive worked, I think it would be S, but because it would extend to the Great Axe roots. Great Axe Hatchet, the OG Void Bent Chads. Yes, exactly. Is this going to be S for you guys? I think you can make an argument that this is S. To me, it's at least A because it's very good in PvE and it's good in PvP. I think I'm leaning a little bit more towards A than S though. And that's just because, like, I don't think Hatchet's as good as I want to think it is because a lot of Hatchet stuff involves hitting people from behind, and I don't think that's going to work out as well as we think it is right now because of the target lock thing, or if you target lock onto someone, you actually can't flank them anymore. Pre-Voidbed, I ran this in alphas and betas before PC OG launch. Yeah, it was good up until then, and then like a few months after the launch, like it felt like it kind of fell off a bit. They should revert Defy Death, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I feel like the new Defy Death is not as fun. Like, it feels like worse Phoenix. Like, if Phoenix exists, I feel like Defy Death can exist. You're getting 16 deaths in a war with that build. Oh yeah, it's not a war build. Which makes it hard to qualify for S for me. But definitely viable, like, in OPR. Definitely viable in PvE. And I think it's good in small scale too. Like, I would not be surprised if this is one of the more popular small scale builds on the PvP island just because of the mobility. We got Great Axe Ice Gauntlet. This actually is a build. Like, I think some people look at this and immediately vote F. But you can run the Abyss with Ice Gauntlet. It's just not the most popular because it turns out it's like kind of hard to use mana on the Ice Gauntlet, and you need to use mana for Great Axe to work. They did change some of the mana stuff that I think makes this a little bit better because it's a little bit harder to gain mana with the Ice Gauntlet passively, I guess. At one point I thought this would be really, really good. I'm just not green enough, or it would be an A to S tier build. Yeah. Can't spec a single point on mana regen. I mean, that's the other way that some people spend it. Like, they go under 200 in, and then it just does no damage. There are a few people, like XO in particular, not XO, XR in particular, like, he made it work on AP Southeast at one point. You guys are leaning a little bit more towards B. I think I'm gonna put it in C off of like experience stuff. Slash, I've seen a decent amount of people try to make it work, and it never quite works perfectly. But it's always really close. Like it always seems like it'll be good on paper, and it doesn't quite get there. XAE's been running it somewhat recently. Yeah, I know he runs it. And he's found a way to make it work, and he just says everyone that can't make it work is stupid. But he's the only person I've seen in the past 6 months like really commit to it working. Like in theory, I thought it would be really good, but I haven't found a player that was actually able to run it. So I almost want to give it low B though, because IG is so good in OPR, and Great Axe IG and OPR is like a very fine thing to go. I know some people like it in War, but I think I'm gonna keep it in C. Do we need to vote on Great Axe Life Staff? I have seen some people run this, but like I don't know if it's like vote worthy. I only tried it as a bruiser, might be better in light. Wrote it out, we're voting. Yeah, if you actually typed it out. Crush, do you want me to do some of the voting things too, or are you tired of doing it? Because I can do it for a bit too if it's annoying. Because I know it's kind of annoying when I used to do it. No, I'm a fast typist. All right. All right, Crush. Weird flex, but okay. I've seen this in OPR enough to where I'd call it niche, but like I wouldn't advocate for it. I think it'll be a lot of fun with the Great Axe artifact. Yeah, I think it actually will be with the fun with the Great Axe artifact. Just zoom around. What about the life staff artifact though? I think that one's BIS, no? Any life staff artifact users? I swear to God, you always can tell who's new at the game if they're a life staff player if they use the life staff artifact, because you get it like so easily, and then like at the time everyone's like, oh, it's an artifact, I gotta use it, and it's like, wait, it literally makes my heals worse. It was funny, but I'll not be leveling a New World Tournament with Hatchet. It's a shell of its former glory. The most broken ability that was the passive life gain, and they took it away. Yeah. Want to skip to Great Axe Spear? Yeah. Great Axe. I mean, you can almost skip past Great Axe Spear to be honest, but yeah, we can talk about Great Axe Spear. So the thing that Great Axe Spear struggles with is with Spear you almost always want to hit 300 dex because it scales better with dex, right? And 300 dex is like one of the best attributes in the game. If not the best, I think some people argue it is the best, but especially now that Grid is gone. But what 300 Dex does is if you switch weapons, it cleanses all stuns and root effects. Like, that is so nice to have. Which is why you usually want to scale this with Dex, but you could scale it with Strength and just not hit the Dex threshold. If you try to do Strength and Dex, I guess you probably could do that now. Like, you could do, what, 150 Strength, 300 Dex, and then 200 Con. So, yeah, you could actually make this work now. You couldn't really make it work last patch, but you could make this work now. Like, you could go 300, 200, 150 with 150 Con. So, yeah, you could make this work. PvE only build. I think you actually can make this work in PvP now, too, because you can go 200, 300, 150. Like, that's not an awful stat line. Amazing PvE build. Oh yeah, I forgot about PvE. This is a really good PvE build, actually. Like, this is the build I run in PvE. I forgot about that. I haven't PvE'd in a bit. That's the build I run in PvE. S tier in PvE. Honestly, I might commit to putting this in A, but that's a reach for me. And that's only because I think you actually could do 200, 300, 150, and then it does a crap ton of damage. And you can do something like Reap into Perforate, or Reap into Sweep into Perforate, and that's just like, it sounds scary to me, or Reap into and a kick into a sweep into perf. Like that sounds so scary, and it's like it would hurt so much. And that's only because you get the extra 50 attributes, so you could actually run it with like less stuff. Launch hatchet was broken. Yeah, I mean you had the infinite scaling thing where if you had people around you, you just deal a lot more damage. Chat voted for B because they are sheep. Should have voted for A like me. 100 strength is good for spear. Yeah. I mean, you could hit 200 though, right? Because you have 650 stats now. So you could do 200, 300, 150. Like, that's what I'm arguing. Like, 150, like, strength is kind of an awkward threshold, but, like, you could get away with 150 con. Like, you don't need to have 200 con. Like, 200 con's really nice, but you don't have to have it. Especially with Great Axe. Oh, lost my thing. There it is. 250 dex might be more valuable to literally perpetual stamina regen, in my opinion. I've never even looked at 350 dex, I'm not gonna lie. Why is it perpetual stam? Because if you... This is just crit chance while empowered. So you crit more, if you crit more, then you gain stamina. Yeah, I guess it is stamina. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Didn't they put a... No, they didn't put a cooldown on that one. They put a cooldown on the... What do you call it? The spinny thing. Yeah, yeah, I mean, it might be better to go 300, 100. You're convincing me that it's B now, because I think they got other builds better. But, like, I think, like, I wouldn't be surprised if that one works. Oh, yeah. Great Axe, Sword, and Shield. Good. I don't have much more to that. For me, it's A. And you guys, it's A, so. SNS Great Axe best tank build if you don't suck. I didn't know it was that good in PvE either. I was just looking at it from the PvP side. It's like, it's fine to run in PvP. Like, very viable. Hello, Warhammer with Blood Drinker is fun in PvP. Yeah, that one has a lot of survivability. I haven't seen it a lot lately, but that sounds fun. Like it sounds like a fun build. Just don't use the new Warhammer artifact. It's really, really bad. But everything else about it sounds fun. SNS Great Axe is God tier in Genesis. I see. So do you want me to put it in S then? Even could say it's S? Yeah. It might be borderline S. I'm gonna put it high A, but I think you can make an argument that it's S. We only have like 2 or 3 S's so far though. We have Great Axe Void Gauntlet next. Do we need to vote on that? You typed it out. Okay, we're voting on that. So what's the idea here? Use the Great Axe artifact. I'm being stupid. Abyss. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I forgot about the Abyss. My bad. Yeah, this is another Abyss build. I think it's a little bit better than the IG, but it feels a little bit more clumsy to play than the Fire Staff. I played it. It's decent with Abyss, not great. Yeah, it's a fun OPR build. Yeah. Would the new Warhammer be good for solo PvE stuff or not enough heals? I think there's better Warhammer stuff to go than that Warhammer for solo PvE. Because the heal only applies on knockdowns, right? And like if you're fighting a boss, which is like usually what you want for like one of those solo tank PvE builds, then you're not going to be able to knock down the boss because you just can't knock down most bosses in the game. So I don't see how that new Warhammer's like ever insane. Like I think it's a budget artifact. Like if you're new to the PvE stuff and you get it, it's like, oh yeah, okay, it's fine, but like I wouldn't really upgrade it or anything like that. So you guys have B for this. I'm probably gonna put it. It's B minus C plus for me. Yeah, I'll leave it in B for now. So now we have Great Axe Warhammer. I haven't really seen anyone run this build. But I mean, it kind of makes sense. Time to get people upset. Yeah, that's where I'm trolling a bit. So this build's fallen off a lot with the next patch, but I think it's still gonna exist in PvP. The reason why it fell off a lot is like grid is like not really a thing anymore for a great axe, but it's passive on the Warhammer. Still good, just not S tier. Yeah, it's low A, high B, I think. It's probably low A. $5,000 con bruisers. I mean, that's the nice part about them changing con is maybe we'll go back to like 200 con. What would it be? 450 strength bruisers. Jeez, that's kind of scary actually. Why do bruisers have 450 strength? Oh god. This is more of a tank build for PvE. Oh wait. Wait, this is really people use this in PvE now? I guess yeah, it works. It does work. This is the build you play in PvE because you don't have the PvE build. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I don't think it's amazing, but it does work. Miko, you see me blow up clumps of 350 straight Great Axe and OPR, lol. Yeah, I mean, it's Great Axe Warhammer is gonna hit hard next patch. And people might even, like, go as far as to run, like, you know, the stone form with the exploding thing. I wouldn't be surprised if we go back to that. For PvP, not PvE. Oh, the meat shield thing. Oh, yeah, you got a point. We've been talking about PvE too much. I was like, people really run this in PvE? It's like, I feel like that's weird, but okay. So we have greatsword hatchet. This is actually this is a pure assassin build that Twofer runs still. But Twofer hasn't played in a while. There are some people that play this at endgame level in PvP. And it's really, really, really good in PvE. Huh, this actually might be S for me. Because you can run it in both modes. Like, you could... Small scale, fantastic. Large scale, viable, but not insane. OPR, fantastic. The only spot where I think this falls off a little bit is war. Nah, not even one tricks play this anymore. Death comes too fast. Twofer runs it. I'm gonna put it in S and ignore war. I think that's where I'm gonna stand with it, but like kind of ignore war, you know? Like I think every other mode, like that is a very, very good build. And war, I think it's like a B tier to C tier build. But every other mode, this is an S tier build. Like OPR, insane. 3v3, insane. Open world, insane. Duels, insane. Like PvE, insane. Like I don't know. That's where I sit with it. We don't need to vote about Ice Gauntlet. We don't need to vote about Life Staff. We don't need to vote about Musket. We don't need to vote about Rapier. We do need to vote about Spear. That's a good one. Yeah, we just skipped the Spear. The others are not really a thing. I think you'll see 1 to 2 per war, nothing crazy. Yeah, that's about the maximum is 1 to 2 per war. Greatsword Rapier C for PvE tank. People really run Greatsword Rapier for PvE tank? That's a thing? Okay, I guess we're going back to vote for that. I did not know that was a thing for PvE. Or could I just put that in C and move on? Because I did not know that was the thing. Well, I wasn't gonna let Bori troll me, and then Moon said that she runs it. And if Moon runs it, then like Moon doesn't usually troll me on stream. Moon trolls me all the time off of stream, but not on stream. Also, we might need to extend this poll if people aren't voting. Greatsword Spear is the... Oh, what's that guy's name on EU that plays this? Farmer John. Farmer John plays this all the time on EU, and I told him this build was shit, and then he banned me from his stream. That's the only thing I remember about it. I'm putting it in C. I don't really believe in it anymore. My streamer is griefing me. Yeah, I am. Actually, greatsword spear PvE is not that bad. I'll put it B for PvE. I do not like it in PvP. Vote on the troll poll. Oh, for greatsword rapier. Oh God. I'm guessing every single vote in S here counts as an F. It's like the opposite, right? uh, it's okay, but there's better stuff. I've seen Kill Squad players use Greatsword Spear before. Yeah, I mean, it's like the thing, or it's like I've seen it, but like everything that Greatsword Spear does, Greatsword with SNS or Spear with SNS just does better. Like, that's where I've sat on it for a while, and I haven't really been convinced otherwise. Like Farmer John really tried to make that work, and it like he tries really hard to make it work, and every time I watch a stream, it still doesn't really work for me. Like it doesn't look like it works. SNS is just better 99% of the time in any disruptor build. Yeah, that's the thing. Like Great Sword, Sword, and Shield is like a really, really, really good build. Great Sword Life Staff is doable in OPR. Okay, you're pushing it a bit. Great Sword SNS is a good build. PvE very viable, but maybe a little bit more niche. PvP is not hard meta. Well, it's hard. This is a meta build on servers where people are less good. On P1 more servers, it's a little bit like it's not as insane. OPR, it's insane. The small scale, it's insane. For me, it's an S, and for chat, it's an S too. So. If SNS Great Axe isn't S and SNS Great Sword has to be, it's the alternate for PvE tank. Yeah, I forgot about I forget about the PvE stuff a lot. Keep yelling at me for PvE because I did not do a lot of mutations. That being said, the endgame PvE now is not mutations, it's literally the raid, and that is it. So if you don't think it's viable for the raid, then it's hard to call it insane for PvE. But I don't want to do this poll. Oh God. You could tank with this. Like surely you could tank with this. Your PvE knowledge is not good, but it's okay. I know how to optimize builds in PvE, but I don't know what the meta setups are for speedrunners at all. But it's really easy to optimize for PvE because you just maximize your base damage. 0 open air AoE taunt. Are we voting for Void Gauntlet? No, we're not. I had a heart attack for a second. I was like, why are we voting for Void Gauntlet? Yeah, no, Warhammer is... Wait, this is A? Someone explain how this is A to me. For me, this is B. Greatsword plus Life Taker, what the fuck? So we are voting on Void Gauntlet now? Crush, we skipped one. How does Greatsword Warhammer even work? Like, you put the rends on him from the Warhammer, you stun him a bit, and then you go to Greatsword and you just start heavy attacking? I mean, I guess. I've tried it before in PvP, and I swear, y'all are just making shit up in this chat. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, what is Greatsword Void Gauntlet? Pool should be builds I want to be good, but will never make. Yeah, I don't know how Greatsword Void Gauntlet works. I can't argue Greatsword Void Gauntlet. It's Abyss, Serenity, and then a Void Gauntlet's pretty good, not gonna lie. You can't even run Serenity in a Void Gauntlet. Like, you don't do damage with the Void Gauntlet then. Like, what's your point? Like, that you, like, putting in power on yourself? Serenity with anything is literally C. Okay, you're not wrong, but chat disagrees. Serenity is just that good. I'm still putting F for it. I do not see the light. Next troll poll y'all make me do, I'm putting F as the only option. So we're voting on Hatchet Ice Gauntlet, right? Micro Greatsword Warhammer I can understand because going full def defiant defensive build Greatsword VG is shit though. Wait, Hatchet, I was trolling. I was joking about this. This is not a thing. Is this actually a thing? This is not a thing. I was trolling you. And you made a poll. It is a thing, yes. How is this a thing? What does it do? People have tried it. Why? Why do you try it? How does this even work? Like, what? You have 0 range. You actually have negative range. Like, what? There's just no way this works. Like, we've been voting on troll stuff, but surely that's more troll than the troll stuff. People have tried artifact, tried musket life staff. Great sword with tether. I mean, I know you go great sword with tether. Like, I get the idea with that the void gauntlet, but like, you already have so much in power with the great sword. Like, you don't need that. Like, I guess you can do it, but like, I'll put it for C for PvE, but I don't like it. Swords and power cap, though. That's what I'm saying. I do not like it. Tethers for the slow, I think. Now we're all fighting. I'm going back to F. I'm not changing my opinion. Getty's like, Micro, why? What are you doing? Hatchet life staff? Actually, yeah, this is fine. Yeah, you can run this. I think I made an argument that healers should go to Hatchet for a long period of time, and every healer tells me it just feels more clumsy than Rapier. But I think you definitely can run Hatchet. It is, in some ways, better at living. Hatchet Lifestaff's the best alternate after Rapier. In most modes, yeah. Hatchet musket. That is a thing, but it's not really something I've seen in a long time, but it is a thing. Everyone made fun of me when I used Hatchet Lifestaff. I used to make, like, when I did these polls more often, and, like, in terms of, like, war meta polls, I kept pushing for Hatchet Lifestaff. Makes so much sense. I don't understand why no one runs it. And now I knew, like, Hailhunger that tried it, and he said it was okay, and that was it. Isn't Musket Sin a build? Oh, wait, I forgot about Sin. Yeah, Sin exists now, right? I mean, they nerfed the slow on crippling powder burn a lot. Yeah, I mean, it still exists, but it's a lot less of a slow. Musket Union needs Hatchet for survivability. Well, the Musket Union is 90% of the representatives from Musket at this point. Good with Simba got nerfed a lot. God, that 45% slow was insane. It was so unbalanced. It still is gonna be annoying, but it was really unbalanced beforehand. Alright. Oh, poll's not active anymore. Hatchet Rapier. We do not need to vote on that. Was legit a CC? Yeah, that was the most annoying thing. I mean, okay, I have seen a few people rock Hatchet Rapier, but, like, I don't think we need to vote on Hatchet Rapier. Hatchet Spear, we got B to A. Yeah, seems fine. The main thing with Hatchet Spear is that, like, you are going to extend the debuffs on your spear, right? Because you're going to go Sin. Like, that's, like, it's not insane synergy, but it's good synergy. Like, I think it's fine to use. It's just, like, I feel like the only person I've seen like rock something like this is like Jordan. And I don't think I've really seen many other people use it. Yeah, okay build to set in my opinion. Yeah. Like I've seen people try it, but it's like to me this isn't like a godly build. It's like it's a fine build though. Inner lane disruptors use this build a lot. Yeah, that's because of Jordan. They could just copy Jordan if they use it, but I don't think he really plays much anymore. Or no, wait. He told me he was going to continue playing until the 15th, and then he was going to delete New World because he doesn't like the target lock. I'll give it A just for Jordan, just to honor him. But like, yeah, Hatchet Square for PvE, Sin as well. Yeah, not bad there either. Yeah, that's a solid build. Pretty sure Kier ran this before everyone. It does sound like a Kier thing, but like also like Kier was on the rapier train for so long because of the K-blink shit or whatever the heck he called it. And like random tech between spear and rapier that like he never got off that train for a while. This is Kier's pet build for a while. I see. Well, I knew Kier more for the rapier stuff. I forgot that he's been trying out weird stuff. Might be a decent tank build with hatchet sword. Because of no grit? Yeah, no, this is a legitimately a good tank build. People run hatchet for tank. Kira's on that Mjolnir meta now? What the hell? Is Kira just high all the time, or does he just try out like random builds? It doesn't make any sense. What? I don't. There are a few people I haven't know that have tried to make Mjolnir work. You guys are closer to A than S for Hatchet Sword. I'm closer to A than S for Hatchet Sword. Mikro's just not been playing New World and chilling. Oh yeah, no, I have not played New World for 2 months, so I am not the best reference for the active stuff about New World. Maybe not 2 months, no, it has been 2 months. Yeah, it's been 2 months. No, it's been longer than 2 months. It's been like 3 to 4, actually. I started playing Albion like 3 to 4 months ago, and once I did that, I basically cold quit New World for a while. I kept up with the data mine stuff, that was about it. The meta I'm not as familiar with anymore. But that's why the chat thing's helpful too, because you guys are more intelligent than me, right? Surely. Berserk is still the best taunt for clumping. Yeah, I mean we used to use Hatchet for PvE when we did it. Do we have to do this one for Hatchet Void Gauntlet? No. Hatchet Warhammer we should do though. Yeah, Hatchet Warhammer's using PvE, but it's like Genesis only. Yeah, it's like I've seen it a bit. Like for me, it's just gonna be a B, but I don't know. Kier told me so many times he never used Warhammer. I feel like I'm in a different reality where when I see him play it now, yeah, Kier's very entertaining, but I can't be in any call with him on stream ever. Like, I think only like maybe 2 to 3 players I've met from any game are quicker to drop the N-word in any call I join. And those are usually EU players. And Kira somehow just drops it more, and it's very weird. Not talking about the hatchet range with Life Taker. Fine. I don't like encouraging the PvE builds. I'm bad about that, though. That is a PvE build. If we're PvP focused, I forget about the PvE builds. Yeah, it's still C. I mean, Hatchet is a lot better next patch. Warhammer is better too. Like, this honestly could be a B tier build next patch. Because I think Great Axe is going to fall off a bit, but I don't think it's going to quite fall off that hard. Like, you could argue it. Put Hatchet VG back to F. It's still worse than Warhammer with recovery heavy. Moon, are you trolling me? I'm putting on F for me. I don't care what the chat vote is for that. But it's also like, eh. Ice Gauntlet Lifestaff is a thing, Crush. It's not a popular thing, but it is a thing. And the best tech about Ice Gauntlet with Lifestaff is you could stand right next to your Ice Pylon, and there's so much homing on Sword and Shield that the Sword and Shield will auto-target the Ice Pylon instead of the Lifestaff user. It is really funny tech when people pull it off. Hatchet VG, tethered, one of those creature builds you see in OPR. Yeah, that is a silly build. You're not wrong. I still don't want to encourage it though. It's a decent build, not meta, but viable. Do people in EU still play Lifestaff IG? Oh yeah, they did, right? They actually legit played it. I know it was like a niche tech. IG is a small scale build. Some people actually rocking in war. It is a small scale build to help with like assists for people. IG Lifestaff for newbie healer. Yeah. I mean, it's like the third best Ice Gauntlet build, right? Like, it's fine. It's not something like you prefer, but like it's fine to run it. IG musket, do we? It is a thing. It was a thing at one point. It still technically is a thing. It's mostly for like ice pylon cheesing though, and it's not that good. This is like a traps build. It's pretty good with deep freeze. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like you go deep freeze, you do traps, and you have double root, and you have your ice pylon that's doing things. Maybe decent with grenades and with the traps buff. Like it is a thing. This list is so long. Oh yeah, it's every single combination. It's 106. That is all the different possible builds. We still have auto done some, but some are a little bit more viable in PvE than I originally thought. Jesse's was using IG when he's healing me back in the day. Such a Chad offhand for Lifestaff. Yeah, I mean you could rock it. It's really good. It's just most IGs or Lifestaffs can't pull it off because they're not good enough at IG. C to B, not so sure. For me, it's a B tier thing. Like, I think this is definitely viable in OPR with trap cheese stuff. Like, or more than viable. Like, it's good. Musket IG, I think you can still guarantee the trap cheese. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just it's a trap cheese build. I don't know if it's more than that now, but it was a trap cheese build, and I assume it still is viable. And traps just got a 20% damage buff. Grenades just got a 20% damage buff, so it could be even better than it was before. IG Rapier is a thing. Oh yeah, I don't have a link to the tier list yet. I could make it view only and link to it, but the problem is making it, if I make something view only and link to it, then I get spammed with notifications about people that want to edit the sheet over and over and over again. IG Rapier, you could run it with Ice Spike. You could also just use offensive Rapier with offhand Ice Gauntlet. Both of them are okay. I've seen this a decent amount in PvE. Yeah, like it's a good PvE build. PvP a little bit more niche. So everyone just likes it in PvE. So it's at least A then. I was gonna say, do we need to vote on IG Spear, but this is definitely a thing. IG is like one of those weapons that you could basically use it with anything. If you're a newer player, IG is like just a really good default offhand. Even if you don't have damage scaling into it, it just has so much utility that's basically good with any single build. Beaker, you put Flail Greatsword F tier what? Yeah, I did. I'll stick by the Flail Greatsword in F tier 2, to be honest. Unless, like, someone uses that in PvE, but I assume no one really uses that in PvE. Disruptor build? There's no way people force Flail Greatsword at the Disruptor. Greatsword isn't good in, like, large groups, and Flail's only good in large groups. IG Spear, I'd easily drop tons of kills. It's the same with Assistant OPR Medium. Extremely good build. Yeah. I'm gonna stand with IG, VGB, and S. I don't care. Damn. This is spear though. It's not IG's. It's IG spear. I think you could argue that this is low A. You could definitely make an argument that IG spear is low A. Like it's pretty good in small scale. Uh, but it has a really hard time gap closing. So it's like I think it's a good OPR build. I think it's a good war build, and it's okay 3v3 build. So yeah, I'm gonna put it in A. I think it's good in 2 to 3 modes. That's my definition. IG sword. IG sword's kind of clunky. We got the Eben build up next. Flail's great support for a great sword. We can maybe go back to that at the end. Just remind me in like 20 minutes we could do it because I kind of want to get through the rest of this and then we can go back and make adjustments at the end to ones that people want to vote on. You could pull them into the ice shower. IG S&S's beginners PvE tanklorn build. Yeah. This is really A for people? I don't know if I want to put an A. Like, yeah, like, you can run it, but, like, if I put it in A, there's going to be a new player that doesn't look at this and they're actually going to run it. Like, I don't know if it's great. I'm putting it in B. I can actually see this being run in Inner if it just kept devolving into a blocking simulator. Wait, I'm being a dumbass. I'm a tank player. Yeah, it's really good for tanking. Oh my god. uh, God, I'm putting it in A because of tank. I forgot about tank. uh, it's respectable PvE and PvP, at least 2 modes. Yeah, so it does fit in A. Maybe I'm being too generous with my A definition. Maybe my B should be an A and my A should be a little bit like between A and S, but yeah. Oh, hell no. Oh my god. How many S's is IGVG? No cat, best class in the game. As for the cultures, but it should be an A. It's to me, it's like even a low A. Like I don't think it's that insane outside of war anymore. Like at one point, I liked using it in OPR, and then like towards the end of when I started queuing or stopped queuing OPR, like every time I queued with this build in OPR, I felt like I wanted to have a heart attack. I've used it in every single mode and popped off. Who uses it in PvE 3s? It's not above A. I know Crush made the entire poll S's, but it's not above A. I've PvE'd with Void Blade unironically. Do you guys actually want S for this? You can carry an OPR with IGVG. Okay, OPR with IGVG is completely fine until you have no healer or no frontline, and half the time you had no healer or no frontline. With this up-and-coming patch, you will have the guaranteed healer at least, and that makes up for a lot. Make her all redo? Okay. I'm putting IGVG in low A, high B. Honestly, I'm going with B with it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like an OPR, like I know that you can argue that it's like it's good, but like it's hard for me to put it in A for OPR because I think it's too conditional of a build. Like you in a pre-made it's good in OPR. Without a pre-made it's like it's really, really hit or miss, and most of the time it's a hard miss. IGVG don't die in OPR. That is true if you have a healer and you have a frontline. Am I the only IGVG that like gets frontlined in OPR? Because I swear I just get frontlined in IGVG in OPR. If you have a healer in a group in PvP, it's 100% A. Yeah, and you do have a guaranteed healer. I'll humor you on that because you have a guaranteed healer in OPR now, and that's at least 2 modes. But like every time I play IGVG and OPR, I end up frontlining because we have no frontline, and I'm dropping Ice Shower, and all my bruisers are pressing the S key, and it makes me want to go insane. Only humor of the A because healers are guaranteed now, and that's half the problem with IGVG. We aren't doing IG Warhammer. We're not doing musket. We will rate Lifestaff Rapier. That is a thing. I honestly I don't think we need to vote on Lifestaff Rapier though. Like that's just a auto S for both of us. We can vote on Lifestaff Spear though. Like there's no need to talk about Lifestaff Rapier. It's just like the best thing to run with Lifestaff. Oh yes we are. Okay, fine. No one respects my IGVG opinion. I have a very strong IGVG opinion because it just doesn't feel insane to me without conditions. Flail's a similar class where it's like without conditions it's shit, and then with conditions it's really good. But you voted F. Gosh dang it, we're just getting trolled. Wait, you can end polls? Whoever voted F is getting banned. No. This is at least B for me. Have you guys... In my Discord, someone posted a Lifestaff, spear montage of just pulling people into keg kills, and for that reason alone, it's at least B. Lifestaff Scorp is such a good meme. Yeah. To me, it's good in OPR. Meeker should do a video with Naomi. If I do a video with Naomi, Naomi's videos are like already an hour long. My videos are already 40 minutes long. If we did a video together, it would literally be 2 to 3 hours long. It would be fun, but I'm just saying it would be 2 to 3 hours long. Do a video with me, I talk fast. I tried doing an interview with Whirl at one point, and the interview with Whirl went on for an hour, and Whirl wasn't like saying anything the whole time. Like I just kept asking him like questions. It's just me being curious. I'm the keg and the spear guy. I think Finn linked you my video. Yeah, you are. You are. That's right. I saw. Yeah, I love the video so much. Oh, you guys put C. Oh, I'm not putting C. I'm putting B. I'm autoing. I think it's at least good in OPR. I'm convinced after that. It's like, this makes me want to scream, but I'm holding it in. Beaker doing this because people 100% try it. You're not wrong. I've seen people actually run this in OPR. It's actually good. It takes practice. Could I have 2k keg kills as a healer this season? Jesus Christ. You have 2k kills as a healer? Jesus Christ. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. I assume Hatchet VG is not having fun in consideration. They're not consideration throwing post life taker to be F. Cousin, there were a few people that argued that, and then I said no, but yeah, I think you could argue it's C. At the best. Lifestaff Sword and Shield got C. Okay, if this got C, I've got to put that one at C for me. I'll humor you that much. Oh wait. Where did the Void Gauntlet thing go? Hatchet. Void Gauntlet. Okay, I'll up it to C just because this one got C. If that one is C, then this one is C. Like surely that like, ugh. The C to B tier builds are the hardest because it's like I hate encouraging that people like run half of the C to B tier builds because they're just like they're not a thing. But then there's also the other half of the C tier builds like Flail IG that like it 100% is a thing. It's just really niche, which I guess falls under niche tech, but it's actually like really good in war.
Put that hatchet VG back to F. It's as troll as it can be. I've had 3 separate people coming into the chat that I respect saying it's not troll. Watching Bosen's new vid on New World. That dude is... he's... If New World wasn't a dead... Okay, I'm being harsh here. If New World wasn't as unpopular as it was, he would be a very popular person to watch. But it's not super popular. Lifestaff Void Gauntlet. Oh yeah, this is solid in PvE. Not bad in PvP too. Actually got a lot better recently because people forgot how to do damage to healers. What about Firestaff? Firestaff is up here somewhere. Yeah, Firestaff has a few good builds. I'm gonna combine this as like one thing in a bit. We're getting this IGVG rating up to S one way or another. God. If this is A, I think the IGVG rating... Oh, no. Did I put IGVG as B? Okay, I at least gave IGVG A. It is definitely not going in S. There's no way you can convince me IGVG is good in PvE. Like, the S stuff is completely reserved for good in PvE and PvP. Like, you at the minimum have to be good at a few PvE modes and PvP. Best support building gets A, bruh. I mean, that's the reality, dude. I sold trials with IGVG. Did he not get kicked? I'm just kidding. I swear to God, I used to try to do IGVG in mutation groups and I just got kicked every time. But I never really got that into PvE. No, it's not a PvE thing. Do you think Bruiser are gonna go Shirking Fort on a Turnum? I don't think Bruiser gear matters a lot, but if you are going light, you should not go Shirking Fort. If you're going medium, Shirking Fort is fine, and it doesn't really matter. Like, Bruiser gear is like literally preference in terms of defensives. You just need to have conditioning. Oh my God, there is so much fighting about Hatchet VG now. There's no way Hatchet VG has this much drama. So you guys, now I'm hearing that this should be F. But half the people are saying C. I'm going to keep it on C. I do not want to fight about that thing. I do not care enough. BBVG S tier PvP and PvE? Not anymore. Hell no. At one point, yeah. BB just got another 5.5% damage nerf. Like, it's BB, like... I said this when we talked about BB. BB, in the past year, BB has been nerfed by, like, about a third of its damage. I would say F on the Hatchet VG. Are we really gonna vote again on Hatchet VG? You're opening up on wood to let me heal. It's BB is just like BB VG one shot my heavy 300 con in one combo though. Well then you're not warded well. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like BB literally does no damage if you press the shift key within like a second of reacting. Like if you see the grenades on the ground, that's the only way you can get one shot. And if you don't dodge when the grenade's on the ground, I can't help you. Like it's like so easy to read nowadays. I don't know. No, it's done. Okay. The good old days when I used to one tap people with the BB combos. Yup. Yeah, BB went from being really, really good to not viable in like 90% of modes. BBVG was a ward viable build for a while, but then with lots of niche builds, no one played it that was good enough to pull it off. Naomi, I played it. Fuck you. I played it in heavy though. I got bored of IGVG. That was my point tank build. Vote moving on. 3-hour video bad. It's gonna be a 3-hour stream. I'm gonna have the last part in the video with the summary and the highlights, but God. I can only speak for EU. Fair. No, I forced BBVG for a very long time, and it felt really, really good in low tier wars. Like up to tier 2, it was insane. T1, I made it work even at the time. Some people definitely made fun of me, and then I still would drop top assists with it, so it was like, it worked fine, but I don't know. Wait, did we just vote on Lifestaff Warhammer and people voted at C? How is this C? Dude, I am so confused. How is that C? Lifestaff Warhammer's S tier while wearing heavy void bent? Okay, yeah, we're moving on. Did we not vote on musket rapier? Oh my god, we didn't vote on musket rapier. Okay. Yeah. That's a good build. It's almost S tier with this next patch. They were voting as if for Warhammer still has repulsive clear out. Objectively, it's A, but in my heart, it's S. A plus S. Yeah, that's where I sit with it. Like it is close to S. I don't know if I can make the argument that it is top tier viable in PvE, and that's the problem with this tier list between S and A. Is S becomes really, really niche when you have to take into account PvE and PvP. But for me, it's A, but I think for Chad, it's S. And my A is just because I don't think you could quite make that work in PvE. Musket is used in PvE. Is it going to be used after the damage is nerfed by 5.5%? I mean, it's good with grenades. It's used in PvE, like, everywhere? I think going forward, if it's God tier in PvP or PvE, we go S. But it's too late, just for future reference. Yeah, I think we do. It is. You're right, Crush. Like, you kind of have to. It has Pierce and bullets better than bow. Oh, right. They did add Pierce. I forgot about the Pierce. Oh. Can I fight you for it, though? Because it's not going to be BIS for the raid? Because it's not going to be BIS for bosses? Am I allowed to fight about that? Or am I not allowed to fight about that because it still has Finisher on? I'm probably not allowed to fight about that because it still has Finisher on. Fine. 120k on bosses. It's really that good. I need to see a VOD of that because I have not seen Musket Rapier in PvE, but I do not PvE very much. We are voting for Musket Spear. Why are we voting for Musket Spear? I think someone tried this at one point in PvP. Someone did try this. Musket is the default weapon versus bosses now at M3s with Rapier. What the fuck? That's crazy. I didn't think the PvE meta changed that much. That's crazy. Beaker, what are the top 5 highest skill ceiling builds for small scale /OPR? Greatsword, hatchet, musket, rapier, life staff with rapier. S and S is not high skill. Probably Abyss, Void Gauntlet's pretty high skill. Or not a Void Gauntlet. Abyss Fire Staff's like can be pretty high skill. I can only get to 4. I don't know if I can get to 5. They kind of took the skill out of a lot of the weapons. Oh, bow's high skill. Like bow, rapier, bow, hatchet. So that is 5, but it's like crazy. For the sake of new players, let's just put F onto musket, S and S, and move on. Yeah, let's do that before. Oh, what did you guys vote on that? I closed the poll. Crush, what did the poll say? Because I totally didn't pay attention to the last one. For me, it's C. I assume your guys' was C or F. It was C? Okay. S. We're not doing musket sword. Musket VG. Are you serious that musket rapier is more meta than musket VG in PvE? That surprises me. Like musket VG is so good. at doing damage, but I guess the VG does have an internal cooldown. Greatsword Great Axe. Greatsword Great Axe is a really high skill ceiling build. Uh yeah, that is a really good build. But I almost feel like it fights itself because for uptime you kind of that's like asking for uptime on Greatsword and just utility for Great Axe, and that doesn't usually work. You don't want to vote for Musket Warhammer, but it's the Biss Traps build, man. Yeah, I agree with that one. Artifact Rapier's too good for musket damage boost. Damn. Unfortunate. Spear, Rapier, Rapier, Spear. At one point, well, no, still is honestly, this is a really solid build. Like, you can make an argument that it's A or S, I think. It's great built for multiple modes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you have Finisher, which lets it be super versatile. Spear's insane for PvE, especially for raid content, because it has like unique runs, unique weekends. PvP, very good in small scale up to large scale too. This fucking Rapier's OP in every build. It is. Rapier is stupid. People underrate Skewer Weekend Rapier Artifact. It's an S. For me, this is an S. Like, for you guys, it's an A. I think, like, I think Spear Hatchet is something that people prefer in PvP now, but, like, in terms of, like, PvE viability, like, surely Rapier is better than Hatchet with Spear, right? Like, this seems like it would be really good in everywhere. Rapier always better in PvE than VG for damage builds. Yeah, the artifact VG kind of changed stuff a little bit, no? Or I guess it didn't for PvE. Yeah, PvP, it's always been better to use the VG, which is the weird part, but I guess armor isn't like as big of an impact. Like the Rens don't do as much. But the dot is so annoying in PvP, and the slow is so good. Honestly, I feel like people need to go back to this. So many people have gone Spear Hatchet for, but Spear Finisher for damage is just disgusting. It really is. God, imagine if they actually went through with the Finisher buff too with Spear. Oh my god, they almost went through with that, where they made it like SS tier. Rapier Sword. Oh my god, I love this build. Unironically, okay, this is the micro cook of the day. This is almost S tier. This is the micro cook of the day. This build is almost S tier. It is unironically one of the best builds for just living in any single mode in the game. Like, it's at least good in 2 to 3 modes, in my opinion. Like, I know you guys are B, but this is the build that people will be running when they're tanking and PvEing in the new zone. This build is unironically one of the highest carry potential builds in OPR because people are literally buffoons and will just chase it forever and hit it forever, and you can't kill it. And, like, it's just so good in open world. Ugh. Rapier SNS is the Giga Troll tank build in OPR. Yeah, and like unironically I can't rate it low because people like actually like don't deal with it very well. We got Rapier Void Gauntlet. We're nearing the end here. Uh this is a very, very good PvE build. Pretty good PvE build. Tank take, but okay. Yeah, it is a tank take. But you guys got your B. I'm tank biased. Is it possible to modify crosshairs in New World? Externally you can, but internally you cannot. There's third-party programs that you could do it with, and New World tends to not ban people that just overlay stuff. I don't know if it's within TOS or not, but those people don't really get banned. Haven't seen much Rapier VG in PvE or PvP, but I want it to be good. As I love VG Rapier. Crush, where's my poll? Crush died. I took over. The classic bot build. Oh man, oh no, not a bot build. I forgot about that. Almost done, buddy. Crush. He's almost through. And then he could be free. I could take over and do the fun part where we put everything kind of together. Decent in PvE. Yeah, like it's a good PvE build. But I guess musket with it is better. Overrated, not gonna lie. This is the build I played in PvE for the most part. I liked it. It was chill. But it does struggle with AoEs. Like, it's mostly a single target thing. Is this ever viable in PvP? Is it? I know you guys voted A. I think the raid and, like, mutations count as different modes, so I guess I could put it in A, but, like... I almost think it's a B tier build. Like, I might go back down to B. Like, I think it's, like, not super viable in a lot of contexts. Duels versus melee, it's crazy. Yeah, I forgot about duels. That is a thing. Rating it as an A when there's one player on every region playing this is probably as crazy. Yeah, usually stuff gets overrated a bit when we do a tier list. What about for spear sword? Can we skip that one? We gotta do spear sword. Does this get the S or does it get A? We got IG hatchet slash VG hatchet up there. I think so. I don't think it got rated highly. Yeah. They got rated. Not highly. Rapier hatchet, no, or was it the hatchet section? The IG hatchet got rated F, VG hatchet got rated C for the throwing hatchet build. I have to vote S for this. Yeah, I mean this you could run this in PvE too, right? Like it's not the ideal thing to run in PvE, but you can run it in PvE. Spear Void Gauntlet. I don't. Yeah, like we could. This is like the ultimate rend build, and it's like hella greedy. Doing it because of Life Taker. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this is like, if you want rend, this is rend. It's just like, not usually what people want. Spear VG is just the debuffer guy. Yeah, literally. Like it doesn't have great finishing potential either. Well, no, it does have good finishing potential, but it like the chase potential is like niche. Oh, you guys are getting a B, not the niche. Unless you guys get a vote in the next 10 seconds. But trying to sway the public opinion. It's weaken and Ren, best for bosses if you could dodge. Yeah, like for PvE, this is like solid. I got, well, just bosses. Fine, I'll leave it be. I think it's good enough for PvE. And like with the raid, we're focusing more on bosses, right? So like, I think you can leave that in B. The PvE boss meta is literally rapier. I mean, you have to have one person that's like on spear for the raids though to have high enough spear uptime because every time you hit someone, while you have spear up, you could extend the duration of your debuffs, right? So like you want to have at least one spear with high uptime. Max weaken with tether, right? Or empower? Yeah, you can max empower with tether. No, the weekend I think is solid too. The worm speedrun was just all rapiers. Yeah, I mean there was an intermediate before the speedrun where people were running spear. Like spear's like a like I'm not saying it's the best weapon in the game. Like you guys are arguing for like an S tier weapon in that role. I'm saying like you can run this in PvE. And it's like it's fine. I think it's a little bit better than niche. Spear Warhammer we probably should do, but like you probably don't have to do. Spear Warhammer is like a CC build. Warhammer is a little bit weird with Spear though because Warhammer's and Spear's range is kind of similar. Warhammer is a little bit more focused towards larger groups. Spear is more focused towards like the small groups. So like Warhammer, you can go for a stun. Spear, you can kind of do decent damage to that. Go into a sweep. It's combo oriented. I think at one point it was okay. It was okay in PvE. The OG Laz build. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Cause yeah, like you use the spear for the weekends basically, and you just DPS on the Warhammer. Yeah, like you can run it. Oh my god, people are voting A. It's A in duels. With Venom? Venom's a thing? I didn't think Venom was viable in any mode. I'm not gonna lie, I did not think Venom was viable in any mode. Venom fucking slaps for no reason? Huh. I mean, I'll give it an honorary B if you're gonna push it there, say that, but like, I did not expect that. I think chat said B for this? Okay. I thought it said C at the last second. It literally says C. It's still on my screen. Oh. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. It ends up being B. Yeah, no, you're right. 4 A's. Yeah, I forgot about the A's. You're a math god. Yeah, but Crush, it's 8:44 at night, and I've been streaming for 2 hours. So every hour I stream, my IQ goes down by about 20 points. And that's why I only stream for like 3 hours. No. Man's an old man. Basically. What the heck is a drop town chip? Ew! No, I'm not using that. When's deadlock? I mean, I might do it in a bit. I don't think I'm that insane at deadlock though, but I did good yesterday. I might make some people go insane though. Some people are playing Venom in Wars. It's strong. Huh. But yeah, I mean, that's what I get for not playing War for the last like 3 months or whatever. Do we need to vote on this? No. Well, it was an OG tank build. One God still runs it. You don't have to vote on it, but it still gets a C for me. Some tank builds still do this. This match just dropped ranked in deadlock. Fly or patch? Yeah, I just saw that. Someone got insane buffs. His Q takes half the map with 3 items. Main him now. What the hell? Yes, the OG PvE build. Let's go. OG tank build, most boring one, but gets the job done. Yep. I think this is probably a quick one. Oh, no, it's not. It's tight. Never mind. It was a quick one, and now it's not. You can honestly, this is a really good OPR build. Like, it honestly might be A. Like, this is weirdly effective in OPR because people don't know what the shift key is in OPR. Like, it shouldn't be A, but it is A. Also good in threes. Yeah. Leap is just too good. Yep, leap is a silly ability. Alright. Do we need to do Void Gauntlet Warhammer? Or are we good? I think we're good. Yeah. Okay. So if I filter you guys. How do you do the transpose? Oh, I guess I'm doing a vertical list. I don't know how you do transpose. Honestly, this way is probably better for the YouTube thumbnails too. So that's your S. Why did it not work? It's a little longer. Now I'm doing my thing. I can see where you guys ended up. So this was what, pink? It's the wrong pink. This was blue. Right? It was blue. I think. Yeah, it was blue. Oh, that's the patch notes for deadlock. I was reading those. Is it that blue? Yeah, it's that blue. I'll turn on light mode too at a certain point, so it's a little easier to see. Honestly, I might do light mode now. No, I'd have to reload. Yeah, I'm not doing light mode now. B is green. C is orange. F is red, but it comes out as a weird color. And then if I do mine, see if anyone said anything important in the last 10 seconds. Shoot. Now all my Twitch stuff is messed up. Okay, there we go. Now I can see chat. If you queue mutations as Lifestaff Rapier, I will kick you. I don't really blame me. PSA for all the new players. No, we could talk about that in a sec too. Like this is the part where I just need to put this together and then we can give like a summary and then that would be like intro for video or something like that. Did I only give that many A's? Was it really it? I didn't give a lot of A's. Oh wow, I did not give a lot of A's. Huh. Well, that's better than I normally do. Normally I give a lot of A's. Mess that up. There we go. Okay. Change that. Cool. Alright. So we just did that tier list. So now we know what builds you guys think are best, what builds I think are best. Where S is something that can be used anywhere, A is used in multiple modes,
A B is used in at least one mode, C is niche, and F is not viable. You could see that there's only a few builds that could really be used throughout the like every single spot in the game with New World. This kind of makes sense. Like most things aren't going to be really good for PvE and good for PvP, especially for every single PvP mode, because we have small scale PvP where it's like 1v1s up to 50v50, which is like super large. So a lot of builds just aren't good in every single mode, and there's a few that made it to that S tier for chat. The bow hatchet I think is a little bit interesting from a PvE side. Like I don't think it's as good, but for raids it's not awful. All these other ones, yeah, that they can be used in PvE. I wouldn't say like all of them are like bis in PvE, but most of these builds, like from a PvP side, are clearly pretty good. Great Axe Hatchet I think is the only one that's like kind of borderline good enough. I don't know if it's necessarily bis. Yeah, for Dex, this is for PvE, or I'll put chat back on. This is for PvE and PvP included. So like if it was an S, it had to be good in PvE and PvP. So we only have a few things that are good in all of those modes. Lifestaff Rapier isn't like the ideal build to use in PvE, but like it's really good in PvP. Honestly, I think you can make an argument that like Lifestaff Void Gauntlet's really good in every single mode for PvP and is bis for PvE, so maybe that one deserved to be a little bit more S. But this generally checks out. Musket Rapier is something I did not realize is really good in PvE nowadays, but apparently it is more than viable for mutations due to the collat change. Noteworthy, Musket is receiving a nerf due to the ammo rework, so might be a little bit less good in the future, but still really good for PvP or PvE regardless, and really good for PvP, especially on the island. It's going to be dominant. There's not many things that, like, chat put a lot of stuff, well, we both of us put a lot of stuff in F tier. Like, if you look at my S tier for comparison, it's not super large. So I have, 9 things in S tier. Chat has 6. So I have a little bit more things that I think are good enough to run in PvE. Like Firestaff Great Axe with the new raid being super Angry Earth based could be viable. Firestaff Rapier could be viable. Like I'm a little bit more generous than chat was there. In terms of anything to highlight, I don't think there's anything like too crazy here. IG Spear is like one of those kind of niche builds that like finds its way somehow being good in a lot of PvP modes, but not as good in PvE. Still okay for like declumping things. There's some things like Sword and Shield Warhammer that are mostly like tank oriented things that are good, but are a little bit more, again, niche. B is like for that only good in one mode, so a lot of these builds are not super popular throughout like a bunch of modes. Like Flail Lifestaff is like mostly an OPR thing, and I defer people to like kind of watching this stuff as we did it live for the most part with these. This is therapy for me. Why is Mikro doing this again? I gotta do this for all the new players. There are so many people that have asked, like, especially on Reddit, like, can I play like spear bow? And it's like, yes, you can play spear bow, but bow spear is like, it's not great in every mode. Like it's a run of the mill like average build. Like same thing with bow greatsword, like run of the mill average build, but very fun conceptually to like kind of play. And it's like to have a little bit of knowledge for that. And also all the other tier lists that we did are literally like 6 to 10 months outdate. So like, I know it has not felt super long, but it definitely has been a long time since we've done one of these. I have people watching build guides that I made like 2 years ago and then asking me if they're still viable in the comment section. So we definitely need to update some things. But yeah, the main thing with New World, if we have newer people in the chat or watching this or watching the YouTube thing, if I put that together, you can kind of run whatever you want. It's just some things are more efficient than others. At some level, like if you're doing like a raid or like end game level PvE or PvP, if you're not running something that's like super optimized in terms of like a build combination, people will not want to play with you in general, because something else can just do the same job, but usually either better or easier. And those builds that can do the same job sometimes can avoid certain mechanics that are a little bit harder in the PvE side because you have enough damage to just skip those. So generally worth optimizing, and I would definitely recommend like newer players, if you wanted to just pick a optimized build and not have to level everything up, then like start with the S tier stuff, especially like for fresh start. Like you can never really go wrong with like with greatsword and PvE. You can never really go wrong with like Lifestaff Rapier. Like it's not the most efficient thing in the world for everything, but like you definitely
can run some of these builds in any single mode, and it's like a good spot to start. A is just like, this will generally be good. There's just some things on there that aren't great in some modes. Like Greatsword Warhammer, really, really good tank build. PvP, not really that great. I've tried to make that work. It does not really work as a tank, and as a DPS, it just feels really awkward. But it is a good PvE build. I'm back. What did I miss? I'm just reviewing most of the builds here. I don't think there's like too much to review like in hindsight. I think most of it was kind of done live, as sleepy as I kind of am. But we actually had a pretty good distribution this time. Usually when we do these, like, too much stuff ends up in A, too much stuff ends up in S. I think we did a good job of, like, making S a little bit more niche. A for chat is a little bit bigger. My A is a little bit smaller. My S is a bit bigger, and vice versa. So that kind of evens out. I think my list is a little bit more evenly distributed. Chat's is a little bit more AB on the mid scale. Mine is definitely B on the mid scale. F, there's just a variety of builds that like just aren't super viable. So I did a better job at making a more balanced list. I think chat did a good job of not making everything S tier though. Yeah, I think that's basically the review of this for the most part. I swear Rapier Firestaff S tier was ours. Are you gonna post this somewhere? Yeah, I mean it'll be on a thumbnail. I'll also like make it a view only thing and probably set up a command for it on Twitch chat at least. I forget how you set up commands, but I can figure that out, and I can set up a command for tier list and pull this up. Do me a favor though, please don't request edit access, because people are going to request edit access and that's going to drive me insane. Fire staff. Where's the rapier with the fire staff? I could look at that and see if it was. No, you have that as S for you. To be fair, chat, wider opinions, you've mostly played tank and support. Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I did enough PvE to get over it, but I don't like playing a lot of the super DPS classes in games. I like playing support classes. Chat did a good job of not trolling, mostly. Yeah, there were a few times where I got a little out of hand. Thank you, Bear. I appreciate the prime. Crush trolled the most, truly. True. Have you done an updated perk tier list with all the new perks? I've done an artifact one that did not end up on YouTube. I have not done a perk one. Shoot, I need to do a perk one. I'm not doing that today, but we could probably do it this weekend. There are a few new perks that are noteworthy. Most of them aren't super insane, and honestly, it's gonna take so long to get Bisque gear that like I don't think you really have to worry about like optimizing too much for the next patch. See, I can do the math again on Desmos, but if you guys are going the pattern route, oh god, 1 second, let me turn off the dark mode. Brace your eyes. Okay, if you guys are going the pattern route, the equation for how long it will take you to acquire your pattern is basically this. No wait, I did that wrong. It's not 1 minus 1 minus. What is it? 1 over... That's messed up. Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, no, this is right. And yeah, we do this to the n. Yeah, that, and then we do 1 minus that. Right? Or no? Oh wait, yeah, I'm looking at a super large n. No, this makes sense. This makes sense. Sorry, it didn't make sense for a second for me. Normally this is intuitive to me, but I'm looking at such a large time. So for reference for the PvE patterns, like if you're trying to get the BIS stuff, you can acquire, well, you can have a 5% or 0.5% chance, so like a 1 in 200 chance to get a schematic that could be used to roll stuff for PvE every time that you could do the raid, and you can only do the raid once per week, right? So if you do the raid for an entire year, you have a 23% chance of getting 1 schematic. Not wonderful odds, or I guess this is 23% chance for like a particular schematic. Like you could hit, I guess, any schematic and that might be different, or I don't know exactly how that works. If it's a 1 in 200 for that loot bucket and then you roll a random schematic, or if it's a 1 in 200 for any particular one, and it's a little bit higher than this, but it's going to take a very, very long time to acquire gear. Did we finish the tier list fully? Wanted to make sure we didn't get off track. Yeah, no, we did. I don't want to go like rehash everything because it will just be too long, but yeah, are the schematics bind on pickup or bind on equip? They are bind on equip. So you could sell them, but considering the drop chance is so low, I'm guessing these schematics will go around 400k at a minimum. So effectively it prices out most individual players. I think companies will be able to acquire them and then like gear their players, but yeah, people swipe and buy them. Yeah, exactly. People swipe and buy them, they'll use it to craft gear. Some people will buy that gear and that gear will be overpriced and maybe people will make it back. But it is very, very expensive to get it. How did Great Axe Hatchet get an S? Because it's you could run it in PvE, like it's a good PvE build, and PvP it's a very solid option. Like you could it has good movement, and that's like the biggest thing for PvP nowadays. And I think the only thing it's like not as insane is like war, but everything else it's like it's viable. In my opinion, only 725 that matters is artifacts and weapons. I think it does matter for armor for PvE, but I don't think your gear score really matters in armor for PvP. And that's due to the gear score bug that we've talked about a lot here. GTG, what is that again? I forgot. RMT? Yeah, it's RMT. It's real money trade. And it's relatively cheap at this point to get gold for New World, so a lot of people use that. Yeah, so you kind of can G2G the gear, but it's mostly time gated. Do the perk one with Naomi as a guest. That would be kind of fun. There are a lot of perks nowadays. That's the only problem. Like, do I have to rate like nimble and stuff like that too? Like, we better be quick if we like with the ratings if we do like nimble and regenerating and all of these. Like, but yeah, some of them are better than others. There's also ones that like you can't see when you go through this list too. Like it honestly might be better to go through New World Buddy. Because they have a full perk list, right? On New World Buddy. Yeah, I love Genie. Genie has the full perk list. But it includes some dummy ones. Like these top ones are dummy ones, but like literally over 1,000 perks, right? Like you gotta chill there a bit. I guess some of those include gems, so we would like start. And we want to do the PvE ones, so yeah, like there are a good amount of perks. Like there's probably like 500 perks, I'm guessing. And I'd make a weapon perks a separate video. Yeah. It's so sad that we never got all the classes that were their original vision for the names. Equal, in my opinion, just do a curated perk list beforehand. Yeah, I mean that's what we'll probably do. Like we'll do like if we do it, we'll do like if you've done tier list maker. Like this is what we did for the artifact one, right? At one point, like you can make a template, make your own or whatever, create a single use, and it's super simple. Like I have every artifact in the game in this artifacts folder, right? So I just yoinked all of these, and then that's how we did the artifact one. No crop. So that's how we did the artifact one. So it's like I could do something like this again. Oops, sounds like 5 videos right there. I mean, that's the weird thing. It's like some people have been like asking for build guides and stuff like this. Like there's like The blessing and curse of New World is there's a lot of content because a lot of stuff is like auto-generated perks, and it's like it's hard to keep up with everything because there's so many things. Like there's 55 artifacts in the game. Like holy crap! That video, like I don't think I turned it into a video, and I still kind of need to, but like that took like a while to go through. Yo, Gothic, what's going on? Welcome everybody. We are talking about, well, now we're talking about whatever. We just went through a giant tier list for weapon combinations with the up and coming patch. So that's what we did for the last 3 hours. Oh god. Someone's gonna watch a 3-hour video of me going over every single perk, aren't they? Well, it's a good thing there's 1.5 times speed. Oh no. Oh, someone's gonna, oh shit. I do not want to put timestamps in that video, but I totally should put timestamps in that video. Oh no. He didn't ready to shout out because he's a known creator? Oh shit. Oh, my bad. Yeah, I am sorry, I am tired. I saw Deadlock, grinded that too. I kind of want to play Deadlock tonight, but I am so tired and they just added rank, so I feel like I'm going to throw. Just make fire staff and tag like 30 minutes. Oh god. Ikaro, do you think penetrating on empowered or the penetrating and power outvalue like plate crits or keenly jagged for boltcaster builds? Dude, penetration is so good. I think it would, honestly. Like any form of armor penetration is like turns out to be like really, really good in a lot of PvP content because a lot of people run like higher armors. And like the PvP islands, people might be lighter armors, so maybe not as much, but other than that, maybe. Ranked unlocks on the 15th. Okay, so we have a few days. As someone that usually just watches your YouTube videos, just timestamp where you start doing the actual tier list. Okay. Cool. Because do I upload the whole video because I do the analysis and have the summary, or do I get the snippet at the end where I talk about stuff, put that at the beginning of the video, and then basically intro the tier list and then go over the tier list in lifetime? That's probably the way I need to do it. I just got to figure out a way to put the stuff at the end at the beginning. Yep, the whole video. Timestamp it. If I timestamp every part of the whole video, I am not going to go to bed for another 45 minutes. I don't think I'm going to do that tonight, though. Sorry, you didn't answer this, Mikro. How are you feeling that it's unfair that NA can't run Hive early like EU? Oh, because you guys have like an hour, like you have a time advantage technically because you're like because of the time zone thing, so you get like an extra week or whatever. I don't think it really matters because transferring between regions and stuff is like not really a thing anymore since AGS made that cooldown like a month. But if people really wanted to min-max, then yeah, they should start on EU and then like swap to NA, and maybe like the cooldown is different on EU than NA, and if you swap servers then there's a different cooldown, so people start bouncing all around because the cooldown's not shared or whatever. Like if people are like really smart, maybe they try to do that to min-max, but I don't think it really matters. I feel it's unfair. I mean, it is unfair, but it's normalized, right? And if it's normalized, then it's whatever. It's just annoying because some people might get an advantage that first week. I don't think timestamping would be too bad because you could just look for polls by what the weapon starts with, Mikro. Crush. You know what the problem is, though? Oh, wait. No, it is fine. I do start with a weapon. So I could say blunderbuss, bow, fire staff. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, no, I could do that. That's not that bad. I thought I did it randomly because at one point I had it randomly because I was using like code to generate this and like everything was completely random, and it was like I haven't like I've lost, like I told you guys, I lose 20 IQ points for every extra hour I stream at night. And we are down 60 right now. Okay, maybe not 20, maybe 10 IQ points. But yeah. What do you think about SNS life staff on the list there? Used in OPR. We did rate it and somewhat high, honestly. Where is it? Oh, there's a space. Yeah. We rated it in C, which I think is kind of high for it, but like it is like something I've seen a bit in OPR. For the FFA zone, it should be strong. Yeah, maybe. Why? Because you block the ranged attacks and you just sit in your sacred and you chill with the light shield. I mean, you can't run it in heavy, right? Like, is the healing good enough if you're in heavy? Like, even with the damage nerfs, do you still heal enough if you're solo? What's the best and or most fun support combo to run? VG Flail. I'm biased. VG Flail, though. VG Life Staff is also decently fun. But VG Flail is really, really fun. In heavy, I heal 16k per dodge plus heals. What the fuck? Oh my god. I don't know if you knew, but Sacred Ground and all percent heal builds advance the heals from dodge heals when someone attacks. I knew that. I just thought it would be reduced by, but I forgot that isn't reduced by your armor, right? The shirking heals is not reduced, so you could actually get a good heal amount of that if you use armor perks. Yeah, it means you could just Defiance Stance plus Sacred plus heals from Life Staff. If you use Ankh, even more broken. Yeah, so it's like a healer, but it's not built off of traditional heals. It's built off of like self heals from perks. Gothic, did you get your new Isabella voice lines from the new trailer? This is he actually did. God, I knew it. God. Hammer Flail is the most fun for clump fighting. With clear out, you could just CC people forever. Yeah, it was really fun when it was used a bit more. And now it's like, I remember you played that a lot and you got a lot of value out of it and it was really fun. And then like people stopped using it a bit. If you count CC as support, Ice Gauntlet plus Scorpion Steer is pretty fun. Oh yeah, that's a super fun build. Musket IG is fun, but in a toxic kind of way. Musket IG is like a combo-oriented build, one of the only ones left in the game, and that just got a huge buff because of the new ammo change. So now your traps do more damage and your grenades do more damage. So that's a cheese build that you kind of have to look out for a bit in OPR. So back to FFA zone, I'll just go 300 focus, 400 con. You can't get to 300 400. Can you really get to 300 400 with the attuned pants? Or can you? I guess they did up the gear score. After patch kinda, you can. Huh. I mean, it doesn't really matter what threshold you hit with the 400 con. Like, you just pump that as high as you want to. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be some broken tank builds on that island. I think that's honestly what's going to get SNS nerfed is going to be the tank builds on that island. Let me make sure. Okay, it's a different game. It's pinging me. Is that Dex Demon active in a voice chat with impunity in Heater's Discord? The fuck? These guys are playing again? That's cool. They could be playing again. Heater's Discord. I almost just threw up a little. I mean, I'm technically still in Heaters. I just have not come to anything in like 4 months. I just don't want to deal with the FFA people, to be honest. I just want the chest. I mean, that's what a lot of people are going to do. They're just going to PvE. I wanted to make like a BIS PvE build, but it sounds like you've already figured that one out. I would have gone for like low gear square manipulation, but I guess that's another way to do it. That works fine. But I feel like I stress the gear square manipulation a lot. Not everyone goes for it. Like some people use it and some people just don't. Speaker, I'm gonna sleep. Thanks for everything. Oh, hoping you make an armor perk tier list for the update. Yeah, I'll do it at some point. You can see if we could do it with Naomi. It's a schedule thing at this point. And I've got to probably do most of those videos this weekend, right? Because we got 5 days. There's no way more people are obsessed with Isabella. The 3 hour perk tier list, Naomi. Oh God. Sometime this weekend, definitely. Friday, I'm watching the Padres hopefully not lose to the Dodgers. That's the only thing I'm doing. And then Saturday, Sunday, I'm like, I could do whatever, and I probably need to do New World stuff. Beaker, I could help you speed anything up in the video. Let me know. This might be our last time to enjoy New World, though. The video making. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm probably just gonna go back through the Twitch VOD and just like timestamp like the beginning and the end of like when we talked about stuff and then do timestamps from there. Like that's the super lazy way to do it, and it works well enough. But the better way to do it's like to use a video editor. It's just every time I use a video editor, then you have to download the VOD from Twitch, and then you have to encode the video into a thing that the video editor can use, and then you have to put the video together, and then you have to re-encode the video, and like that whole process takes like 4 hours. And then it's like, it's usually just not worth the time to do it. I know some people do it a lot, but like for me, it's just not worth the time to like go through all that effort. And by 4 hours, I mean of like compute time. Like I don't have to be in front of my computer, but like it's like if I, it's just gross. Nerd out for 3 hours, basically. They changed Isabella. Micro, am I allowed to post a link or what flag me for people for voice lines? I don't know if this even works. It'll flag me and then I'll approve it and then it will be fine. I think some people were in the chat when I mentioned that there are some people that are such nerds that they just collect Isabella voice lines, and I think it's kind of silly. Gothic was the guy I was referring to, but now he's openly admitting it. That's where you can get them, but I don't know if it works. Oh God. Some people like Isabella a lot. She's probably the coolest New World character in my opinion. So as a tank player, would he be more scared of my bolt caster if it had the penetrate perk or play crits? Oh, definitely penetrating. To be honest, I'm never scared of a bolt caster as a tank player, because I can block like 90% of the attacks, and the attacks that hit me won't do damage. So I don't really care, because I have the wall half the time, right? And the wall just has like infinite elemental reduction. So the bolt caster is not a concern as a tank player usually. Oh, do you have the button thing? I forgot about the button thing. Oh, I have to sign in. I don't really want to sign in. New World is a case study on wasted potential for fan service. Oh, God. You asking for Isabella feet pics now? Oh, no. Dude, what did they do to Deadlock, by the way? Like, what is this update? Oh, no, I lost my thing. No, where's my Deadlock thing? Oh, no, I lost it. I probably don't have to search for Yoshi, but Yoshi always makes it easy. Oh my God, they added the rank mode. Oh, there are time zones. I was always wondering why, like, I wasn't matching with players that Eldorian was matching with, but he's like East Coast. That makes more sense. Like, I have like some of the pro Overwatch players I match against, and I'm like, why am I patching against these guys and not like Eldorian? Because Eldorian's really, really good at the game. And that would be fun. It's fun too because I don't have the same alias I did when I played Overwatch, like somewhat professionally, so I can recognize the people, but they don't recognize me. Yeah, Gothic has all the voice lines. Like what are we, all of them? What are the major nerfs? Yeah, this added teleporters. The teleporters grant speed after you use them too? Oh my god. So now with the way the teleporters are laid out, since they don't go across the map, it actually makes sense to use them like a lot more. They nerfed monster rounds, probably about time. Monster rounds is broken. Thing major. They nerfed the move speed and enduring speed by a lot. Huh. Good, they nerfed ammo scavenger. This thing was... Wait, they... Oh. Ew. Yeah, it's not really a nerf, it's a... Yeah. Monster rounds is giga broken. Let's you tower down and take minus 30% from towers. Yeah, I mean, it still is giga broken. Because it lets you not take damage to towers. But it's... Igro, are you playing... When are you playing CS with me? Since you love Valve, I've never played CS stuff. What was your alias in Overwatch? I played in Contenders for 2 seasons on as Socks. I don't think I played against you. Yeah, I don't think I played against you. I played like near the end of Overwatch 1 and coached near the end of Overwatch 1. This is the team I'm most known for with it. It's like this team I coached, and we did pretty well. Like a T3 team at the time or whatever, because it was between a few seasons, and we made like almost $20,000, which for Overwatch is pretty good for T3. And we won a bunch of tourneys and stuff. Doxed. Oh yeah, that's the thing. The instant you become a semi-pro player, you become doxable. So. I mean, I've moved since then, but it's still doxable, you know? Wanted to get into the contenders that lost the promo matches. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I did a lot of stuff for the college team too. Like my college wasn't a paid college, but we got top 3 in the nation at one point, and it was really, really funny because we beat semi-pro players. Actually, no, we beat legit pro players at the time. It was really, really funny when we beat them too. It was like it was a huge upset, and people were really confused. But it's been so long that I don't think anyone really cares or remembers at this point. The only thing I do in most of the reach the high rank games is just quit. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Overwatch is like a game where I can play as much as I want. I'll never get bored. Same thing with Deadlock, to be honest. Deadlock's a game where I can play as much as I want and never get bored. Deadlock, the only thing for me is that like it's really draining. Like Overwatch, I can kind of zombie out and I'll do fine. Deadlock, I cannot zombie out. Like there's so much going on all the time and so much macro to it that like I get tired really fast. Like I can't play 3 to 4 games in a row of Deadlock for the most part. Like I get really tired really fast because I'm thinking about so many things at the same time. Sometimes I do more, but then I really don't do as well. Dude, they need to fix Abrams being able to spin as, like, if you have high sense with Abrams, you have infinite turn direction, and it's so dumb. So people just use high sense. It's a MOBA, you get used to it and then zombie out. Yeah, I'm not used to the MOBA stuff yet. I had like one game like a few days ago where I like IGL'd the entire game by accident, because like when I start IGLing I don't usually stop, and that's like comes from the Overwatch side, right? Like I was a IGL, like in-game lead, so like I talked for 40 minutes straight, and at the end I was like, oh my god, that was so much fun and we won, but it was like I was so tired. It's like I don't usually talk that much anymore. Hell yeah, Ultimate Weapon, Jellic, etc. I played against them. That's dope. Small world. Yeah. I still talk with them too. We have our Discord and we still talk. What's the recent stuff in here? Oh yeah, I played against a guy that his name was 2018 Hydration, and like he kept raving about 2018 Hydration because Hydration's actually pretty good at Deadlock. And I told him hydration sucked at the end of his career. Why are you such a fanboy? I was playing total devil's advocate. It was so fun. uh, hydration to go 22 was even a starter. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh god, these guys agree. Yeah, I know. We're just bullying people. We're having fun with it. Uh, no, we still talk a little bit, like Ultima and I. That team was so fun. Oh, I still miss that team a lot, but like I would not go back to Overwatch at this point. It took way too much time to play Overwatch. Like it was crazy how much time it took compared to the earnings. Like we made like what 16K like as a team, and that was like over a year's worth of work for like I'd say 8 or 9 staff members at the time if you include players. Like we had graphics designer that was on doing like a ton of content, and manager that was like basically a part-time job. There was me, and for me it was full-time basically, and then there's all the players and it was full-time. So yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I think I'm about done for today. I might play like a game of Deadlock. I don't know if I want to do that on stream now. Uh, but I am beat 7 to base regen increase. Why did they what? Did they just make 7 a PvE demon? Okay. What? Why? No. Who said they played 7? Like they already were stealing all the farm and not doing anything with it. No. The ball 7 build is so stupid. 7 with the Ivy build, basically. I mean, I play the Ivy build. But the Ivy build, like... At least there's a little bit of thinking with it. The 7 build's, like, so... I did it. His Q has giga range. It's larger than the lane. Oh, no. Oh, God. Yeah, because they doubled it effectively, right? When you go from 1 meter to 2 meter, and everything scales off of that, so... That's crazy. Wow, those are a lot of paradox changes. I'm glad they are adjusting Vindicta. Flight speed, move speed no longer scales above 50% effectiveness. Thank God. Like, you always had to go knockdown. It was so annoying. I had a Vindicta on my team yesterday that was, like, complaining the entire time about, like, dying over and over and over again. And they were, like, it was so annoying because I was, like, the only person on the team that was going positive, and I was on a support build. Like, I had a positive KD, and, like, everyone else was going damage. And they were all negative. Like, we lost a 5v6, and I was top damage on my team and top kills as a support. I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I can't do anything. Goo Ball no longer triggers on hit effects while... Oh, that's sad. That was a fun bun while it lasted. Reduce the stun duration. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I play Viscous a lot. He's okay with this. He's a lot worse though without the ethereal thing. I'm not good with the goo ball stuff though. Like I do like AP builds now, but not goo ball. Miko, you're a McGinnis spammer. I am not a McGinnis spammer anymore. When I started off, I played a lot of McGinnis. I was like, oh my god, I love the wall. I love the turret build. It's so fun. And now I don't play very much McGinnis. Like she's still in my like I have 4 characters selected for like medium priority, right? Geist, Haze. I mean, I'll show you my stuff with Deadlock and then I'll get judged heavily. Like, I don't think I've been playing that well recently, though, is the problem. The wall. The wall is amazing. See, this is going to be loud is the only problem. Deadlock is, like, really, really loud. But I could show you, like, stats and stuff, but, like, I don't think I'm going to play a game. It's not showing up. Why is Deadlock not showing up in my selection? Oh, there it is. Like, if I go to profile, right? Like, I think McGinnis is still my most played. Like, I haven't played her in a while. Like, I was not doing good yesterday. It was so frustrating. But the day before, I was doing, like, really well. It's, like, very hit or miss. I don't know. I mostly play Dynamo and Viscous now. Viscous is the most fun. Dynamo's okay. But Dynamo's not fun when you do it on pugs. The wall is bullshit. Let me jump it. Yeah. Nice, be close, same rating, like 200 MMR higher. How could you tell MMR from this? Wait, you could tell MMR? I thought they got rid of MMR. Like, you can't view it anymore. Nico score? Means watch page matches. I do not know what that is. As further you ahead of the watch page means you gained MMR. It depends what page you're on. Wait, so how do I even view it then? So you're just viewing it online based off my IGN? You at 1010 Nico score? Oh. What's that even mean? Does that mean I'm the top 0.1%? No. Because that's what people talk. Oh, I'm not even that high, am I? No, I'm not high at all. How does 7 have the highest win rate? Oh no. Sorry, are you 1020? 7? Yeah, 7 should not have the highest win rate. That's so stupid. Hayes makes sense. McGinnis is a stupid hero. 10 to join the dark side. Max Q. Oh no. I'm curious on the hero win rate. I didn't realize this site existed. What's the top 1%? Kelvin? 7? Still 7? 7's that good right now? I'm surprised Hy-Vee is this low. Dynamo feels like it should be that low. Same with Viscous. Like, Viscous is like, it does not feel that strong. I think it's just been getting nerfed. Like, he felt good, but not super strong. I feed with Guinness and still win. Yeah, I mean, McGinnis is like, you could always trade, right? Like, the way I like learn to play McGinnis is like, I literally just feed and just like take objectives and it doesn't matter. And then like, that's how the pros play McGinnis too. You just rush 3 items and run their base down. Yeah, literally, that's all you do with McGinnis. Like, it doesn't, yeah, like, you could just play objective and just die, and it, like, literally doesn't matter. Like, you just get tower, and you just win off of that. It's like, it's so stupid. And then, like, when you get down to 1 tower, you can literally just play defense on McGinnis, and they just can't take it, like, even if it's a 1v3 half the time, because they just wall. Like, she's a really good hero off of just PvE, basically. So wait, what even is the top... Like, what? Like, is Eldorian even up here in the top 100? Oh. Yeah, so I'm like top, like, what? Like, probably top 3,000, 2,000, 3,000? NA I'm higher. Yeah, so NA I'm probably top, like, what? 12k or 1.2k? If I'm 10 whatever you said. So I'm not super high, but I'm pretty high. My favorite items are Aura for Tower, the speed shooting, return fire metal skin, and last is the leech. Leech with McGinnis is silly. if I join a world exactly at launch, do you think my friends will be able to join the exact same world the following day, or do you think it will be full for new characters? Oh, that's a really good question, actually. We have no visibility into character stuff anymore for New World. So we used to have character visibility with New World database server status, but now the guy's estimating the amount of players per region, and we have no idea. So yeah, it's really hard to tell because AGS is hiding this. You can only tell on the watch, like you can't really tell. Is the match Nico's score dependent on player? That's what I am saying too, because I play like when I queue, like I do 4 things and I don't put any as the highest prio. I don't really care what I play right now. And I'm trying to pick up another character too. Like I don't really like playing Dynamo. Cause you ult and then like everyone runs away, or I solo ult and then people ask why I'm not just playing Mill and Krill. Which is kind of fair. But in game in Deadlock you can watch people. Page 1 equals rank 1 player. Yeah, if you go to watch. Like here. Do I know any of these people? Not really. So what's like Rack Attack at? Because I was playing against him like a week ago. Wait, how did he even find my Nico score? I can't even see it here. I don't even know how you found that. Click the track lock icon. Oh. Oh, he's that bad? Yeah, this is a pro Overwatch player. I played against him like a week ago, and I beat him, and I was wondering how good he was at this game. And I played against Lep too. I don't think that's Lep though. I feel like that's Lep. It's definitely not Lep. Because he plays Infernus. Yeah, he's not that good at it. That's the real Lep. Yeah, his mine fluctuate a lot too. Yeah, mine fluctuates a lot too. So my McGinnis is super high. I have a really high win rate on McGinnis though. Yeah, that's crazy. There's some days where I'm just doing terrible apparently. That's funny. And then I play McGinnis and I just win. McGinnis is like really, really easy to do well on though, because you could just build support and then just win. So how to get higher equals play your best hero and get the big matches. Yeah. McGinnis abusers, I swear. I just win with McGinnis. I don't know what like. I swear it's not an abuse thing. I played McGinnis when everyone said she was F tier. I think I need to stop playing Dynamo though. Like Dynamo does not feel good at all in like this environment. Like the only thing Dynamo is good for is like mid boss, and everything else it feels like he's just baiting half the time. Yeah, before the gig buffs, like you played McGinnis like a month ago. Yeah, exactly. Like McGinnis was the first character I played. I haven't played McGinnis much. Keep in mind, now there's real rankings, so none of this matters anymore. That is true. So now I've actually got to figure out what characters I actually win with and figure that out. So 15th is big rank day, but I quit anyway since New World. Oh, because New World comes out then? Yeah, like I'm probably not going to be playing it as much, but I still really like this game a lot. I mean, I'm not like trying to be like top 1% in this game or anything like that though. It's just like a casual game for me. So Anyways, so we gotta let this game cook. Yeah. I think we call it for now. I might play a game off stream, but I don't think I'm gonna casual game for me getting tired after a few games. Okay, yeah. No 7 match. I don't think everyone wants to see deadlock. uh You have fun. I'll see you soon in New World again or Twitchy. Yep. Hype for the raid. Awesome, man. All right, I'll see you guys. So your statistics are dropping. Raid out. Oh, I'm tired. I don't think I really have someone to raid. People don't play New World this late, so. All right. Night, everyone.